Because I'm worth it.
Yeah.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Yay, it worked. I was having issues yesterday with OBS. So I'm like, please don't be like just YouTube being dumb. But now
Was it the same issues as last week on Thursday? We're not going live?
I had to update OBS, and when I updated it and then went live again and didn't restart my PC, so I think that was part of it. But it was like lagging on Kick and YouTube, and it was also like such like a 5-minute delay. I'd be sitting there talking, and then like 5 minutes later, I'd see people answering what I said in the chat, and I'm like, is there a delay? What? And then when I ended my stream, it ended like 10 minutes early. Like there was no goodbye. Like I said bye and everything ended. And then people were like, oh, okay, bye. The stream cut off. Like, what? I said bye.
What was probably happening is as your computer like goes along, it can, you know, various different programs take up memory and stuff. So you were missing frames. So your computer was delayed in sending it to them. So over time, the longer you streamed, it got further and further on. But then when you cut the stream, it just ends. And so you had all this extra stuff that had been delayed. Like, no.
That's why I always do the outro and then wait on YouTube back end to end the stream. Just in case.
Yeah, there's a lot of streams where there's like, and so I just want to say go, and they just go.
You're like, okay. Hope it wasn't important.
Yeah, it's like a movie sometimes, and to end the stream, I just want you all to know, and this is incredibly important, you must finish.
That's great.
It's like in the movies when the person passes away.
Yeah, always dies at the worst time.
I know. What were you going to say? What's the password to the safe so I can get all the money?
Oh, I took that an entirely different way. Yeah, you took it as like, oh, fashion, we'd all match. I took it as, do they want me to die first?
Oh. Well,
I took it in the Star Trek way.
Oh wow! You went the nerd.
The red
route.
shirts. Yeah. You always know if someone comes on in a red shirt, they're going to die in about 5 minutes.
Speaking of red shirts, we're both wearing red shirts.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the thing. It was just
Who's
interesting
first?
how different people's minds worked. Wicked immediately thought about fashion and matching, and I thought about Star Trek.
I'm a girl. I'm a simple creature.
Fashion, food, and sleep.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And cleaning.
That seems like a nice life if you that's all you have to think about. Just saying.
All women essentially just want to be cats. They can just eat and sleep.
Yes, I want to be
and
pet. I want to be loved, and I want food. That's it.
Pizza.
And being able to like fall out of a window and land on your feet is cool.
You know the reason they're able to? It's their tail. It offsets the movement.
It's the same with the squirrel. Yeah, there was a guy who was doing like drop tests, and it's more funnier than it sounds because he was doing it from a really low height, but he was doing like 3 inches, 2 inches. He dropped it from 1 inch, and it just flipped. I'm like, you can't even see the cat flip. It just does it instantly.
Yeah, and then my dog, I'll drop it from even like half a foot.
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
1 centimeter on a pillow and drama.
Well, there was a thing. I think it's the sheepdogs. I can't remember what they're called. Well, the sheepdogs we have over here are the most intelligent breed, and someone was doing a test, and I think it was only like them and golden retrievers, which were smart enough to do the whole invisible throw trick, where you just go 1, 2, and on 3 they all run, whether you throw that ball or not. But the other dogs actually watch for the ball to go. Dogs are not clever people.
It's fine. They're cute.
I saw another cat video today, though. He was walking behind his owners, and a car came up behind them. Must have scared the cat, and this cat literally flipped over on its front legs and 180'd to see what was behind him. And I was like, oh, it's just a car, and then turned around again. But they literally do acrobatics.
This Rue prefers squirrels. I could see him having
squirrels
like,
can do
like a
acrobatics
big house.
as well.
Would you ever get a flying squirrel?
I love flying squirrels. I think they're awesome, but I don't know whether
I've seen one once in real life. It's pretty.
I
cool.
think they're a lot of work
called?
to keep up.
the sugar something. They like fly. Sugar flyer animal. Okay.
I know what
Maybe
you
chat
mean.
knows. I
Yeah,
know what it is. Sugar glider. They're
Yeah,
so
okay.
cute.
I think
Yeah.
sugar gliders are one of the ones which are really high upkeep, like really high maintenance pets.
They're so small and they sleep in oven mitts and they're so adorable. Anyways, I'll be
This
done.
Rue look like he's like he was
Well, every time I
disgusted,
see
kind
one,
of.
someone's
He's
put it on a door frame, and they're just like, "Come on, flat." That's all they do.
There, she's so cute.
Ah,
And they're so tiny.
sugar daddies.
Anyway. Oh god.
Okay. Let's get a couple of these super chats, guys. Thank you. We got some fun stuff to talk about today. There's actually quite a bit of entertainment news this week because of all the Marvel stuff and the D23. What is it called? The D23 Expo? Like what? Something like that?
I
She's like,
believe the D23 is called that because of Disney starting in 1923 or something like that. I don't
okay,
know.
so all right.
Or something similar to that. But yeah, it's a oh god, I read this so long ago. My brain hurts trying to remember it.
Oh, you know what? There was, I don't know where it went, but I seen it before I started that Hero Kami became a member. Thank you. It's not on here though. I don't know why it's not on here, but thank
No,
you.
it
for
is.
that. It is? Oh, I don't see it.
Oh, I see it.
Well, that's weird. Okay, well, thank you for becoming a YouTube member. Here. We know what you want.
Saucy.
I got you. I got you.
Everyone
go.
else is on there. That's so weird. Okay, anyways. Maybe I accidentally hit the star when I was like clicking around. Mark of Reality has been a member for 13 months. Thank you, Mark. This new threat from the UK about prosecuting foreign keyboard warriors for saying things they don't like. How are they going to do and pay for this?
Well, I think a lot of extraditions, and I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know, but I've read people saying that it has to be a crime in the original country. So if it's not a crime in America, they don't even know how you do it in the first place. But also, one thing to remember is our prisons were overflowing so much that when the current people got in, the first thing they did is release 60,000 people early from the prison as it was. And that included violent criminals and everything. So they're already releasing the worst of the worst.
The violent people first before the people who just say things.
Well, that's not how the UK works. The UK works on we will prosecute you depending on who you are, not what you've done. That's one of the significant problems of the country.
And people say there's problems with my country. God dang it.
Oh, no, there is. You'll have all these same issues. You just don't have the imported class yet that will cause these issues. But you have all the legal framework for it. It's just nobody set fire to the Tinder box, the Tinder yet, to set it off.
We will see. I don't know. Everything in all of our countries kind of like there's it's teetering to the sucky side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We're yeah. There's something, it's bad everywhere right now. Worse in some spots, but yeah.
No, Chaos. Don't export your illegals to Canada. It takes too much money to do that. The great thing is we're not bordered on a lot of countries. Like people want to like travel to Canada. You have to fly in.
It's true. Malty, thank you for gifting a membership.
Saucy.
Very saucy of you. Saucy. And M8566, thank you for the 5. Disparu, wiki feet when. The people demand it.
One of the most common comments that I got in London is, I didn't know you had legs. So, I mean, at this point,
Now
wiki feet would just be a proof of being complete. So, he does have both of them.
I don't think I've seen your feet. You were either wearing socks, shoes,
No, because the camera's just here.
No, but like even just like hanging out.
I don't think Disparu owns flip-flops. I feel
well,
like he
that's
doesn't.
because, the only time I'd ever walk around barefoot is in really hot weather. But any time I would have gone barefoot over there was in an air-conditioned place.
Oh, Vegas. I forgot that you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know if you have hairy toes or not.
This is. I think we can.
I don't think I know. I don't really pay much attention to my feet.
Like, I don't actually know. I never looked. Hold
No,
on.
I've never paid that much attention to them, to be honest. They just kind of exist and I walk on them. This is where the whole feet thing, I'm just confused. I just don't understand it because I just
get
don't
around
care
on
about them
them,
at
you
all. If I could lose my feet but also continue walking, I wouldn't care. Like, if they just kind of exist.
Yeah.
Oh my
We can
God.
blame Dan for this because he just I hopped into the bro science chat the other day and said hi, and I guess they were talking about feet, and Dan just goes, "I want to see Amanda's feet. I want to see." He's talking about his feet, and I was like, "I'm scared right now a little bit."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't
now
know
that
Dan
we-
liked feet so much.
I don't
Well,
know.
I
I mean, hey,
He's in Brazil, very hot country. Probably a lot of them walk around barefoot. He's probably seen a lot of feet in his time.
Okay, Dan doesn't even wear shoes sometimes.
There you go. I bet he's seen a lot of feet in his time. That guy gets around.
he gets
Gets
around.
around
That guy
all
has
the
seen
feet.
things.
He just walks out in the street. There's feet everywhere.
That video that we watched, I still sometimes I think about it and I laugh because I feel like the guy that saved the guy's bike from getting stolen and we were just dying because we were like, it looked like Dan from behind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I remember that
The
video.
one with the sword or something, right?
Yeah, came down in the lift with another guy, and they were just staring at
He
him.
was just ready.
All right.
Do you have toenails like a cat?
I wish I had toenails like a cat. Then I
You'd be
could climb trees.
Oh my
Closer to
God.
being a squirrel.
Yeah,
Closer to being a squirrel.
they're useful.
Oh goodness. Red Queen Paradox, thank you for the New Zealand 10. So you're the Section 31 OP among the red shirts?
Up, yeah. I
Up?
except
Oh,
it
okay.
would be the
Sorry.
original Star Trek, not
Not the
Kurtzman.
new.
Not Kurtzman Section 31. I would never take part in Guardians of the
That's
Galaxy. I
actually
have pride. for some
Kurtzman's
reason.
drag
Right.
race, actually.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 on steroids is what that's been described as.
Really?
Oh, but like
Wow.
worse. God, I
Well,
love
no,
Michelle.
it's not Section 31. Section 31 is literally like a clandestine organization that the Federation do not know exist. There's some very high up people that have worked with them, but even they don't know their faces or anything. Like, most people in the Federation haven't heard of them. The ones that have heard of them think they're a myth. And yet this is, oh, it's Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it's just a comedy, we'll just go around shooting people. So, oh.
So you're a secret op group, but yet you dress the flashiest that I've ever seen. Like that's
Well, even in the original in Next Generation, they do wear completely black suits. But the point is that they appear, nobody knows how they got on the ship, nobody knows how they got off the ship, nobody sees them except who they want, and all scanning logs and like sensor logs are deleted. So if you tell anybody about it, they think you're insane. So it kind of doesn't matter what they wear because nobody sees them apart from who they know. And there is a time where the Doctor on Deep Space Nine, after he's had meetings with them and stuff, he then just walks into a party with like one of his senior officers, and the guy who he met in that uniform is there. But they think he's an entirely different person because he's faked a whole identity. So they kind of hide in plain sight a lot of the time.
We're learning from Disbrew. Carlos Lima, thank you for the 10.
It's the best part of Star Trek.
Hola panel, just curious. Wicked, do you know how to speak Italian and Spanish? No, I wish I did. My grandparents are fluent, and neither of my parents decided to learn the language, and I'm so sad about that. I'm trying to learn Italian right now, though, at least a little bit, so that one day when I do go to Italy, I might be able to hold a conversation.
I can
Extra
say
Girl,
Mamma Mia.
That's all you need, really. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Say that. They'll
I'm
give you
basically
food,
a
they'll give you
native.
drink.
I don't like
Era
to brag.
profondo, no respira normale. I learned that for work.
I know all the Mamma Mia. It's like I know all the culture.
Let's see. Gira. That's turn. Okay, that's all I know in Italian. Oh, and
Girl.
food: linguine, lasagna,
yeah.
spaghetti.
Oh, la voglio. You basically just put an O on the end of every word, and it's Italian.
It
Yeah.
sounds
Oh,
Italian.
make me a pizza roll.
Pizza roll.
A pizza.
Extra Girl, do you know how to speak Vietnamese and Disparu? My mom thinks you're handsome.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Well,
Okay.
has she ever considered going on?
Did she ever consider going on Dan? What?
Sorry,
Dan
finish.
has like the love of all the moms. Seriously.
It was probably better than once I got cut off at that point, to be honest.
Oh no, you can finish. But do you speak Vietnamese?
Well,
X-ray.
A little.
A little.
And Paquito. That's Spanish, so.
That's not Vietnamese, but I know that much Spanish. Oh no.
Yeah.
John Thomas, thank you for becoming a member.
Saucy.
Very saucy. 16-bit
I still don't know
mascot.
whether his name is a meme or not.
Which one?
Never know. John Thomas?
John Thomas.
Well, maybe we'll never
Why?
know. Maybe he doesn't want us to know.
Because your John Thomas is your little friend.
Ooh.
It's slang for it. I can't, like, you roll for
Is
endowment.
this a British thing? Like when we
Yes,
said
probably.
about the.
I'm pretty
the
sure it's
poops?
John Thomas. Because I know Americans have John Hancock. But I'm pretty sure it's something Thomas.
It's his name. Oh no.
Oh, no.
16-bit mascot. Thank you for 5. Hey, look, it's my
John
favorite Saturday
Thomas,
show.
it-
Big love you
it-
guys and chat. Thank you, 16-bit.
Thank you.
Yes, John Thomas is slang in Cockney.
Oh my god!
okay.
You just
Well-
called him a pee-pee.
It's
That's
what
his
it's what,
name.
it's what this slang is.
Okay.
It's not my fault.
Can you imagine your name is Richard Johnson? It's just
People
like
probably have that. You know what, John Thomas? I'm sorry. He can't help it. He's British. I'm sorry.
It's Cockney. I'm not a Cockney. Just is though. It's like
Someone's gonna
apples.
clip
If
that.
somebody
I'm not
named them apples and pears, and like, oh, you actually named after stairs, they'd be like, yes.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh no. Hero. I can't say the hero. Hiro Kami, thank you for the £2. Star Trek Section 31. Just think deep state.
I
Yeah,
think it's actually deeper than that. It's like a
That's
couple
what
of
she
levels
said.
deeper than that.
that's
Because
what she
it was
said.
written into the original Federation, like regulations when it was created. But yeah, it's the fact that you can name them means that no, it's definitely deeper than that.
Here, you know what? This is a good one for Disparu to read.
Grab America by the Pooh Sea for $2. Fanny is also not slang for your butt. That is true.
That is true. I heard the term fanny flutters from my Irish friend. So
Yes.
she told me, she's like, I'm getting the fanny flutters. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
like you have to go poop? I
Oh, wow.
know what that
Wow.
meant. Because I thought like a fanny is a butt, right?
No.
And yeah.
Yeah, I've
Well,
heard that.
I learned.
No, when Amanda Stenberg was doing a whole diss track, she kept shoving her fanny at the camera.
You know, you should ask for my consent next time, Amanda.
Yeah.
I did not want to see that. I love how
Almost put it on
Mr. E
Wikifeet.
said Love Island because I just watched the episode where they said fanny flutters. Yes, I love the
Actually,
show.
that was the bit that cut off. I said MILF Manor, not Love Island, but there you go.
Oh, well, I mean, MILF Manor. Were there any British people in MILF Manor this year? This season?
No, they're in Canada. I think they're Americans, but it was in Canada. The
Oh.
first thing they
Unfortunate.
did was make them cover each other. Well, they covered the guys in Canadian maple syrup.
Wow.
Mhm.
That sounds disgusting.
Well,
Or
yeah,
fun.
but that was for the sun. Well, the idea was you're covered in maple syrup, and how much maple syrup can you get off the person into like this jar? And then there was literally just one woman who like didn't even try, and she just kept licking it off the guy.
Did she lick his Johnson at that rate? I
I'm
wouldn't
not
be
sure they
surprised.
would have been allowed to show that.
Oh, that's true.
It's probably not for lack of trying, though.
Producers are like, slow down. You're not supposed to do that.
The funniest moment while that episode was they were talking to the guys. They're like, so do you have any problem with older women? It's like, well, they did come on a show called MILF Manor, so presumably not. But they kept going, no, you're all so attractive. Guys our age, they're just not as hot as you. And then all of their dads just walked in at the end of the episode and like, oh my god, they're hotter than the sons. It's like, oh, right.
Oh,
Well.
no. Okami for 2. Thank you. Over here, Fanny, it's ladies front bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's the
Yep.
bonus one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
I'm not even sure what that's referring to. It could have been a lot of things over the last 5
I know. This whole start of like even pre-show, we were talking about Amelia Clark's scroll arm. I saw you in the chat earlier.
Yeah.
Should we tell them what we're talking about?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Oh, what would be worse? Getting a hand job
Or
from
better.
Thanos's arm on Amelia Clark, or the Hulk?
Hulk would be worse, I think.
Yes, but Hulk would smash.
Exactly.
If you could control,
in the bad way.
If you could control it, like the Hulk could potentially be fun too.
But you couldn't control it. That's the entire point. The Hulk can't control the Hulk.
That's true.
He would just smash.
The next thing comments, bro, no, Hulk. It's the first thing I see.
Oh, anyway, so that, yeah. Juggernaut.
Jeez.
Well, there's probably... Yeah, there would be a lot.
No.
That's probably what's her face. I can't remember what I keep thinking of Agatha. Agatha was in her show. Black Widow, she got with the robots. That's probably why she got with him so much. He definitely had a vibrate function. Like, he could phase through matter.
Sorry, John. I feel bad. He's good.
Stop, blame the Cockneys.
Blame the
sorry
cocks.
for them. I love how she just got this glass.
I don't
It's
know
like she's
why I
trying to
have
be
a straw.
She reminds me of that. It's that gif of the girl drinking wine. And she's like drunk and she's trying to get the drink out of wine. And she's trying to get the
Can't
straw.
find
Let's just do it live.
Oh no.
I have control so far.
Oh, here we go. We got clarification here. Thank you for the 5, Carlos. Hey, Disbrew, I believe the reason my mom is into you is because of your accent.
Yeah, see, it's never about the people. This is a whole point about the English accent. It's useful everywhere except England. Although when I was in Vegas, I was told multiple times the accent of me, Little Platoon, Mauler, and Critical Drinker, surprisingly. Now, the Scottish accent over here, not held in very high regard, but abroad, seems to work wonders.
It's just the I guess the rarity of it. Because I would
But
say
it's
most
not like this. It's not particularly attractive.
I love the first conversation I had with X-Ray when we were talking about like what accent we think is the like hottest. And when I said
Russian.
Scottish, she was like, "How do you understand?"
Hey,
no, it's so
maybe
true,
that's
though.
one of the positives. It's like, well, I don't know what you're saying.
Well, that's happened to people. Mark Millar told a story about how he was saying, I think someone had passed away in his family, and the person, like, he was talking to, one of his coworkers, like, laughed. And then he finds out from someone that, like, a lot of people just do that with him because they don't understand what he's saying.
100%. I was in Wales once, and this guy, incredibly thick Welsh accent, literally no idea what he was saying. And I think you can ask, like, pardon 3 times. After that, you just have to laugh and walk off. It's your only option. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he was asking me. I think, looking back on it, he was asking me, like, do you want a lift? And so laughing and walking off was the wrong answer. But I could see his face. He was really confused when I did it. But I was like, what? What?
I think Disbrew was really
What?
hammered then. Like,
No, this was in the I was hammered the night before, but this was in the morning. So it was I was hungover, but it was no. I could normally understand the Welsh. I couldn't understand that at all.
Mm-hmm. I feel like most of the YouTubers that we know dampen their accent quite a bit so that we can understand them on these panels. The test is to get them drunk, and then they'll sound like
or
your
around
real
their own
accent.
people. Like if you
Yes.
go to that and they're like around
Oh
their
my God.
mates. A lot of
Oh, it's
people, their
bad.
accent gets worse when they're like around family or something, like where they grew up,
Yeah.
and they just kind of regress.
My best friend, when I go to Ireland, like, it's great. We can hang out, have fun, but as soon as we go to the bar, I I'm like, I have no idea what anyone's talking about. They're all drunk.
Sitting there with a beer, like.
The one time
Yeah.
I was in. Well, no, I think we went a few times, but one of the times we was in there, I think it was my mum was asking for a Coke, and so she asked for a Coke, and I'm like, what? Can I have a Coke, please? What? Can I have a Coke? And she just pointed. And he went, oh, you want a cork? And so for the rest of the time, she literally went around asking for a cork, like out of a wine bottle.
Cork.
Is how we'd pronounce it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a cork.
it's a cork. It's a Coca-Cola. And it was like,
Coca-Cola. It's okay. I call it cock, so it's fine. Please give me cock.
well, I mean, if you go around Ireland asking for cock, then you know,
You might get something different. Just
yeah, you have no lack of offers.
Oh God.
no.
I should be careful what I say out loud. Hi, psychotic mongoose.
Hi. The singing tigs for 5. Thank you. I think Dan is learning Italian right now. Maybe if you show him your feet, Wicked, he'll teach you. He's fair.
Yeah,
Actually
he'll just
wants to
become a
fix-
native immediately.
Actually wants to fix the Hulk to smash.
Oh no. No.
She looked terrified.
No.
Yeah.
Can you imagine like how scary that would look like and be, and like you could die. Your pelvis
You would die.
be,
No, you would die.
your pelvis would be
100%.
smashed to smithereens.
Yes. He would need basically another Hulk, I think. I'm not sure many other people,
She-Hulk,
if anyone, would
but they're
survive.
cousins.
Well, yeah, but even She-Hulk is like, I think she is a weaker version of him compared to like what he is. I know that she wasn't in like, the series and stuff. That was why it was so stupid when she was taking like humans back after she'd just got her powers. There's no way she'd be in control of herself enough to do that.
Probably not.
Mind you, I mean, dead fish.
Is that a superhero? Like,
What?
I mean, you could also say starfish. I mean,
oh, starfish. Okay, I know what starfish is.
some people say starfish, other people would say dead fish.
I thought you legit meant dead fish. You don't know what starfishing is?
No, I'm not gonna Google it either because I'm scared. I'm not Googling anything.
It's literally not that bad. It's when someone just doesn't give an effort and just lays there during coitus.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing.
What
Like,
did
if
you
she
just
did that, then she would be acted upon, and therefore he would be safe.
Okay.
But the moment she got involved, like, she'd just be too strong.
Mark of reality. Thank you for the 5. Y'all should have Yellow Flash on as a special guest to discuss superhero vibration.
Excuse me?
Well, this is why the Flash would be good, right? Because
He literally vibrates.
Well, yeah, but he can move so fast he can phase through solid matter, and so he could basically, you could just be like, "Can you go on speed setting 3, please?"
Take a picture. Is it? I missed it.
My
the
accent?
The chat summary, I believe, is summarizing chat. It's not what we've said. It's what people are saying. Which is why sometimes it's so random.
Hi, X-Wing.
My accent is so weird. I don't know what
get
accent
chat
that
summary
was.
up. I think you can only do it on your phone.
Yeah. Shoot.
My bad.
That's all right.
That's too
My
bad. Oh well.
Grab America by the Pooh C for 5. Would you rather be vanguarded by Freddy Krueger or eat 10 out by Ghost Rider? I plead the 5th.
What is Fangord? I don't even know what that is.
But I plead the 5th. It sounds scary.
Can I do none of them? That's like, would I die?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, at least Ghost Rider, if he could control turning into Ghost Rider, it might just be a normal person. Whereas Freddy Krueger would always be horrific.
Oh, he'd always kill you.
Oh, Hoki's got it.
Well,
Thank
I mean, he'd be in your dreams.
No, neither or plead the 5th. Whatever one. I'm allowed.
Oh, ew, chat. I don't want to be Fang. Oh, I see. I thought Fang and Gore were like. Anyways,
I still don't know what it means.
no,
I'm okay.
chat said it. You just scroll up a tiny bit. John Monkey, Mr. ESEL. They split the word into 2.
Oh. Dumb.
Anyways,
Carlos Lima for 2. Disparu. My mom just told me you're sexy.
Oh god! Hey, if we get them all together, we can have an entire series of MILF Manor.
You're giving Dan a run for his money here.
Hey, Disparu said he would totally.
He sings Celine Dion, and it's like entire continents are after him. He's on a different level from everybody.
Disparu would totally dip himself in maple syrup and let Mama Lima take care of it. I'm kidding.
Damn.
I am not dipping my. I am way too English to have a dip for myself in maple syrup.
Okay, we'll paint it on or spray it on.
How is that any different?
I don't know.
I still don't know how you get the chat summary up. It's like I can see chat.
Darth Racer, thank you for the 2. Extra girl is naughty.
I'm
No,
a
she's
good
not
girl.
bad. She's a
Ask
good
my
girl.
mom.
No one believes that.
Ask my mama.
Oh, she knows I'm a good girl.
At least Wicked is like, I have no idea what they're saying.
I'll choose to plead the 5th once again.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
God.
that's why it's so funny when someone says something to Blabs, because oh, I don't know what that is. I'll just go and search. And everyone's like, no, stop.
And then it's like the horror. Here, just for you can read this one because it's just so classy when you read it.
Grab America by the Pooh Sea for $2. She-Hulk starfish would clip your stem. I mean,
Oh, like cut it off?
It depends if she clenched. You'd have to almost be deliberately bad, because otherwise it would get dangerous.
If you're too good, you'll
Yeah.
Oh, God. That's what you said.
Yeah.
you'll be left with a stump
Mm-hmm.
or chode or nothing.
I don't believe you just said the word chode. It's like, I wasn't expecting that at all.
Could just be shorter. It's fine.
Disparu.
Disparu. Thanks, Gregory Lee.
I don't know if it's a reference to something. I don't know.
We're confused. Thank you for the $2. though. He even got just. Usually he knows. It's usually me and X-Ray there do the
Well, have you
like little
seen
puppies? What?
have you seen the Mecha, what's it called? Something Mecha game. It's in beta at the moment, and people
No.
are particularly enthused by the character creator.
Is it
Because-
naked?
Well, no. The thing is, this is a game literally about big mechs fighting.
Mhm.
So you don't even see the people, as far as I know. But in the character creator, it's got all these different things. It's like a Korean game, so of course they're obsessed with like different eyelid types and stuff. But one of the things you can do is there is arse sliders. You can control how pert it is. There's jiggle physics. And I showed it to Mike.
Straight
I
love
went, oh
jiggle
my god,
physics.
you can clap them because you can do
The
the
cheeks
distance.
can be clapped?
Well, you can control the
Of course he
distance
did.
between the cheeks, and so if you get the slider and just go like that, they clap. It's a sight to behold. It's
What
no
about
wonder
the
that game is
boobs?
very popular.
What about
I
the
don't
boob?
know,
If I do this,
because
you
it's
can
not
see
in this
my
clip.
banana.
I mean, I can link the
Oh.
clip.
Every
Mm.
time we get scared, we just grab the banana.
Here,
How
I'll
is
pull up
that
the
going
clip.
to help given the topic?
Yeah.
Kinda
People
Shut
are
it.
clapping cheeks, and you're
It
like,
can- it
oh,
can-
just grip the banana.
The bunny.
Okay. Do we want the volume on or no?
The volume is music. I just mute it because I don't know if it's in-game music or not.
Oh my
See,
god.
you've got a pertness slider, and then you've got a width slider,
No.
and then it goes onto the
Oh.
facial things, and like you can tell where this came from just by the eye types. I have never seen so many different eye things. You've got eyelids, upper eyelids, lower eyelids, brow arches.
Wow. I wanna just do the character creation. That's it. Don't care about anything else.
Well, I'm not even sure
Just
how
wants to
often
make
you
her
see the
twerk.
character. But this is why the game is incredibly popular because oh my, they made attractive characters compared to all the others where like no, we're gonna give her a chin that you know, Chad Thundercock would be excited about.
Who's that? Is that someone else in the chat? Because we have Lance already.
I was trying to come up with a name starting with Chad, and I can't remember where that one came from. But I've heard the one I said before. I don't know where though.
Oh.
What's the game called again? Mecha something?
It's just like I gotta download
It's in
it
that
right
tweet.
now.
Mecha Break.
Mecha Break, yeah.
It's in beta at the moment.
Okay. Well, no wonder Philip likes it.
It looks alright.
That's the first,
I got in the
thing
beta
I
today,
seen
so
you
I'll
played
try it.
Oh my
course you
god. Oh. What am I
Okay.
reading in chat now?
I've been
I
trying
don't
to
know,
get
but
into
you have a super chat. Thanks, Samajani.
For $2 says Extra Girl, are you playing Final Fantasy 14 Dawn Trail? I didn't even finish the first one. Whatever it's called. Mark will remember because I can't remember.
He's gonna summon him. He's gonna get chat. Be like, it's this, and you can get it here and
No.
here.
Mark
goes off.
Mark is hanging out with friends tonight, unfortunately.
Aw,
But I've been trying to get into the beta for
good for him.
I don't know why I'm about to say this because I know what the answer will be. But it's Black Hawk. There's a new Black Hawk game now. Black Hawk is a game that I used to like. Black Hawk Down. It wasn't Black Hawk Down. Was it even Black Hawk? No, Delta Force. I think it's Delta Force Black Hawk. I used to play Delta Force when I was like 10 or something, and I remember I couldn't defeat this one map, and I was prone and crawled along a field through a river up a hill for like 20 minutes to defeat this one solo player map, because that's the kind of game Delta Force was. But it's now in beta. I've been trying to get in for a week. Well, no, for about 4 days, and I was waiting for Twitch drops to come up, and they put the Twitch drops on at the wrong time. So by the time I turned up at the
No.
actual time, all the keys were gone.
There you go, Delta 4.
There you go, Delta Force Black Hawk. Yeah, it looks really good.
I'm not gonna lie, Mike Wilson Art has ruined it for me because every time you say this, the third and fourth word, I think of this. Anyways,
Darth Racer, thank you for the 2. This is too much for a Baptist. Sorry.
You've spent too much time on the real
So-
BBC.
Sorry.
I think so.
Mhm.
The lads have ruined me.
No, I did a 2-hour comic book stream the other night, and people were like, "Is this the real BBC?" I'm like, "Sure." I was just showing off comics for 2 hours.
Hey, it's fun, and maybe it
is.
inspires people to get some comics and
Yeah.
talk that stuff. So
That stream was sponsored by Wiley Dave. Thank you. Gregory, thank you for another 2. Confusion was my aim. Lol, just saying hey.
Well,
hey.
it was because
It
everyone was trying to
worked.
interpret what you meant by pair. And
Like,
half the time you're wondering, like, is this a reference to something that I just don't understand? So
he got us. Rebound for 5. My mental image of British accent is a triangle overlaid on the islands, fancy to the bottom right, jag towards the top, and melodious to the left.
melodious.
Melodious,
Yeah,
sorry.
the Welsh accent is very lyrical, which is why I'm kind of surprised when people are like, oh, Mauler's accent is amazing. He doesn't really have a Welsh accent. So now we probably go, oh, you know, not all Welsh accents are the same and stuff, like Irish. When people do an Irish accent, they're 33, top of the morning to you, my laddie. They always do the Limerick accent. Whereas when people
Not
think
all
of
them, yeah.
Welsh, they think of sort of southern, which is it's kind of from the valleys. It's very difficult to do because you're going up and down all the time. It's
like a
very musical. It is.
sing-song, Yeah.
And
You
I
sound
even
kind of
think
like
then I did it like
Jacksepticeye.
I think. Well, that's the thing. I think I slipped again into the Limerick accent rather than the Welsh one.
Yeah.
It's very. It's hard to do accents unless you've just heard them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Agreed.
I there's a clip of Mauler doing that Welsh accent, the musical one, and I'm kind of just like, he should just speak like that all the time.
He's
I
like
feel like
me.
he probably does. He just doesn't do it on the internet. Most likely.
I don't know. I think Wales is a big place, and some of them have less interesting accents than others.
Here you go, Disbrew. This one's for you. Thank you for the 10, Gohan.
Yeah, Mecha Break. Gohan creates Prometheus
He's like,
Creations for $10. Disbrew, it's Mecha Break. Thing is, TNA can't make a game good. But it doesn't make a game better. It also gets you to try the game so you know that it's good, rather than just seeing some ugly slag on the front page and be like, I don't care. It's a pay-to-win Asian mobile game. Yes. That's why it's got attractive people in it. And it's already been proven that it's very pay-to-win with mecha improvements, upgrades, and drop from loot boxes. Yes. because it's an Asian game. That's what they're all like. It's the same with First Descendant. It's not pay to win as such because it's all PvE and things. But of course you can like buy characters and stuff from that as well. But again, it has attractive characters. I would much rather play a game which has very basic kind of game systems in it with attractive people than play a better game with ugly people. It's really that simple. Now, when I see a game and there's just ugly characters in it, I just assume that you don't care about the game. Because you could have done it, which means it was an ideological decision to make them ugly. You did it deliberately, which means all your other systems you've also been made by incompetent or evil people. And so, I don't care about most of the games. Attractive people being in a game doesn't mean that the game is good, but it is a sign that it could be good, rather than the opposite.
Ian, thank you for the 50 pounds.
I'm not sure about the first one, Ian.
Fanny Flutters, John Thomas.
Oh, no.
Feet,
Okay.
Simmer down, Steve.
Yeah, he's repeating things that were said. To be fair, the first thing was legitimate commentary about a video game. Saucy.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm simmered down.
I'm simmered. I think this brew might need to simmer a little more, though.
What?
I don't know. You got Carlos.
X-Ray is 2 weeks from installing a foot cam in any particular stream.
He's getting all hot and bothered. You're getting hit on by Carlos's mom. You know, it's
I
getting
didn't hit on
spicy.
anyone.
No,
If
you're
anything,
getting hit
their
on.
sons
You're not
hit on
hitting
me with
No.
their mum. I'm not sure. I should be blamed for the behavior of
No,
other
I
people's
said-
sons.
No. I said you're getting hit on. So, not that you're doing the hit on. You're getting hit on.
I'm just
You know what?
existing.
You know what?
Disbrew, your mere existence makes people just melt. So just accept
So
it.
am I.
It's fine.
It's really hot in the UK at the moment.
Damn.
Sorry, that's just that I can always. That's just like the perfect clip for anything. It fits it with Al.
You know, you could just get AC.
Yeah, aircon.
It's not
As
that
they call it over there. Get some aircon.
No, because you have stuff like installed in your houses and stuff, and your ACs like go through the entire house and stuff. We'd have to have an
It's
individual
nice.
room thing. Then you have to hook it up to a window. Then you'd have to
I
like
used to
seal
have
it
that.
around the window because it's got to pump the hot air out of the window. Then every time you leave the house, you have to take it out because otherwise someone's going to break into your pissing house.
Are people do
So-
that?
well, not
Do
where I
people
used
break-
to live.
You've seen the videos coming out of the UK over the last few weeks. Do
Okay,
you
I
think
get it in
someone
the
would break into a
UK.
house?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
used to have window
Fair.
ones, but one, I didn't live in a bad area, and two, it was always hammered in.
This is the UK. 30 years ago,
Now I have.
the UK wasn't a bad
Central.
area. Now,
Well,
Yeah. Getting a little crazy over there. Prosthetic head for £2. Spoof 100% review score for Indy 5 KK exits.
oh yeah, with the whole
Oh,
KK
Kathleen
said that
Kennedy.
won't quit until there's a win.
I wouldn't be surprised if you saw like
Thank
a
you for the tip.
genuine organic campaign to get people to go and see the next Star Wars movie.
Just so that
Just so she
KK will leave.
retires.
Like, listen, we'll go see it if it means you're gonna go away.
Yeah, look, if I have to, I will take one for the team.
I'll just buy out a whole theater and hopefully she leaves.
Yeah. If you promise, you gotta get her signature on it.
Did you see the story about that? There was a woman, obviously, who went to a cinema and she organized this whole viewing of a certain movie because she wanted to see it. But it was during all, the scare and the
Oh,
lockdown
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff. And so
think
she
I heard
bought the
this.
entire cinema and then set up rules about what you had to do if you wanted to enter the screening. And she paid what would presumably be a lot of money to get that whole screen just so she could do these rules. So she felt safe seeing the movie.
Wait, so she
Wild.
bought the tickets and then sold the tickets to
Well,
people who would follow her
well, she-
rules?
Yeah, she did like some deal with the cinema, that I will rent this screen for a certain amount of time so that you specifically show this movie, and it's only for people that know me. And yeah, she would be there to enforce that you had to go through all the rigmarole that she wanted everyone to do.
Wow.
Wow. Why doesn't she just buy a screening for just herself? And then that way she doesn't have to worry about the rules.
I think that's just an American thing. I've heard from multiple American people they prefer seeing movies in cinemas with lots of people. So that's not the same over here. I would prefer to be in a cinema on my own,
Me too.
literally any day of the week. Like
Nice.
anyone, there's lower rattly bags. They're not talking over everything. It's
Yeah.
everything is better. But I think Americans they're way more social than the Brits, so they like the laughter and stuff.
I don't know about that. Okay. Well,
You've never seen the airport sitting terminal philosophy question, have you?
no. What is that?
I probably can't find it off the top of my head, but it's like a picture with loads of different seats at different angles in an airport, and there's one guy sitting there. And it is, where would everybody from every nationality sit if they had to take a seat in all these things? And it was like the American one is literally right next to the guy because they want to talk to him and have conversation. Where it was like, well, the Italians, they probably want to be near him, but they don't want to talk to him, so they might sit opposite, but they've still got eye contact. So there's a bit of social stuff, but they're not going to get drawn into conversation. There's other people that would sit behind him facing the other way because they want to be close to somebody, but they don't want eye contact and no chance of conversation. The English guy was on the opposite end, facing the other way, so there's no chance a single sound will even reach the other person's ears because they want absolutely nothing to do with anybody else.
I feel like I'm that person. Or I would find a plug that works first.
I would think Canadians want to be near the guy so that they could apologize to him.
Well, I mean, regular Canadians. I'm
Yeah,
not normal, I suppose.
He's been
This is
American
the Vietnamese in
bit.
you.
yeah.
So, all the other Canadians, they would want to be near him because an apology to no one means nothing. So, you at least want somebody else to exist.
It's so true, though. Canadians will just well, some, not all. They'll apologize if you're the one that hit into them. They'll be like, sorry.
Sorry.
They hit you. Why are you apologizing? Yeah, Lance. Of course, I would find somewhere because of technology. Because if I'm going to sit at the airport for hour and a half, I'm probably going to be on my laptop. I'm probably going to edit or be on my phone or my Steam Deck or something like that.
When I was in Vegas, I was at the airport from something like 12 hours, like 11 or 12 hours. And it amazed me how fast it went because I was literally just on my phone, on Twitter, watching YouTube videos and stuff. And it flew by.
Because you never get to do that normally, maybe?
Well, no, I think it's like literally just my life. So I was just doing all the same stuff I would have done anyway. So it was like, it didn't matter to me whether I was in an airport or at my house. I was still doing exactly the same thing.
Oh, gosh.
Ian, thank you for the 5. Sorry, I lose my voice. I was incorrect when I said Delta Force Black Hawk. The correct title is Delta Force Hawk Ops.
Very specific, Ian. Thank you. I knew the game that you meant. I've been watching a few people play it. I was watching Tim the Tatman released a video on it, his first gameplay. He did like the multiplayer thing. And then there was I can't remember his name.
I was thinking that.
So going strong. Sorry, the chat. Jason Webster, thank you for the Australian 5. Hi to the adorably whimsical and charmingly convivial X-ray girl. Equally charming, wicked virtue, and disparu with his sardonic humor. Hey, I got it, but thank you for helping. So
Well, I mean,
I
you
don't.
stopped, so I was like, hang on.
He's like,
Just
listen,
got to say sardines. I can see it happening.
you're
Sardine.
But, yeah, the other person I was watching was Dr. Lupo play through because he plays Tarkov, and so he's doing the extraction mode. And that's what I'm interested in with the game.
I'm going to say Jason Webster spelled humor correctly.
I don't know. Did he add a U?
Yeah.
Oh.
2 U's.
It's one of the greatest travesties to ever have happened in American history that somebody stole your U's.
Yeah, all the U's are
Someone stole
gone.
your U's.
I don't know where they went. I don't know whether they're in Fort Knox. I don't know whether they're being kept from the general population by sort of an oppressive state or something, but
I think
it
they were
was a
just too
travesty, and
lazy.
you don't know what you've lost. Yeah, there is a lot of people that go, I will buy a country with the amount of money I've saved in ink alone from not printing you.
They're like, we
what?
made it better.
No,
Did you?
all Americans use that for everything. Oh, we just take everything from around the world and perfect it. It's like, yeah, we took this burger from over here, and then we just made it a bigger burger with more calories. We took
more
pizza,
bacon.
and then we just made it deeper and called it deep pan pizza.
Deep dish.
I don't really love deep dish pizza.
I'm not
Yeah,
in-
they call
I
it a
like
pie,
more
don't
of
they?
a-
A pizza pie when it's
Yeah.
deep enough. It's
Well,
like
no,
that's not
all
even a
pie-
pie.
all pizzas are pies.
Yeah, you call all pizzas pie, but I prefer
Only
I like
Americans
thin
call it a
crust, but I
pizza
like-
pie, not
there's like
Italians.
I still have to take X-ray to the perfect place in Buffalo because we didn't get there. I got our Buffalo
my God,
pizza,
you're
but it
gonna have to
wasn't my
fly
favorite
back.
place.
It's not to drive. It's like 2 hours away.
Yeah, but then
Just
you
a
wouldn't get to
pizza.
go in a buffalo. You have to enter Buffalo on a buffalo. It's the law.
Well,
We're just gonna get a huge buffalo and put it on
I'm
top
just
of
gonna
X-ray's
put a
car.
buff-
No, because
Buffalo's-
it has to fly. Obviously, it has to be one of the flying ones.
with my driving, you'll be flying. I'm just saying.
That's true. The road's there. We just go up the hill next to it.
Yeah. And the next time I visit Wicked, it's gonna be in my beater car. I'm so excited.
See,
Yeah,
I was
I'll
way
get
too
you-
pleased.
I'll get you some good buffalo pizza. The one we had wasn't bad, but it was a little thicker than I like. I
what
like
she
it to be a tiny bit thicker than thin crust. But the one you got was pretty yeah.
It was good.
I was way too pleased with myself with my joke on FNT that I think
Which one?
I'm not even sure Gary heard it. Nobody else heard it when they went about the cannonball run and how it's going to be too difficult and too expensive and they need like somebody to do like 250 grand and stuff. And then
Uh-huh.
somebody said, well, obviously, like I'd be driving and X-ray would be navigating, and I went, yeah,
Oh.
because otherwise the insurance would be way too expensive.
Oh
And
yeah, I
don't think
missed
anybody
that.
else heard
I
it.
totally missed that.
Yeah. Well,
Hey.
immediately afterwards, you were like, "I can drive." you were
got
so
drowned
offended
out,
that he
I
didn't
think.
even consider you to drive. That
Yeah.
I think everyone else
Oh,
missed what I
you
said.
know, this has been a thing with anytime I visit Gary, Melissa or Gary drives, no one else drives. Even Kara drove their car at one point because we had
Not
gone out for
you?
drinks. Not me. Well, no, I wanted to drink, so
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
yeah, priorities, right?
Predictable. Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say, Kara will back me up on this. She's like, I'm very comfortable with you driving. I drove her car from where she lives.
It's easy to say that. It's
breakfast.
different when her life is in your hands.
No, it was.
No, because Kara
I went
drove.
across. I went.
No, I drove too. I drove majority of the time.
Oh,
Kara
I
drove-
thought
I
you said.
felt safe.
I
I
thought
felt
you said
safe.
everyone else drove and didn't let you. I
No,
misheard that.
Melissa and Gary's cars. They didn't let me.
Yeah.
which
Kara
is
likes to
fine. I
be in the
actually
wild
enjoy
side.
being a passenger princess, but I also enjoy driving.
I've
majority
never
of the
heard
time.
that term before.
Yeah,
No, you never heard Passenger Princess?
No,
Yeah.
that doesn't exist over here.
Wicked Virtue is my passenger princess.
Yeah, I felt super safe. I just was chilling.
Oh, did you not switch? I just assumed you'd switch the
we
driving
we
between the two
stopped
of you.
like quite a few times. I think the longest stretch was like
4
11
hours?
hours.
Oh,
Oh, 11, right? Did
Sorry.
we do 11? in one
11.
day?
I was just saying 4 hours without peeing.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
I'm
Can't
not
even
a
go for
boy.
4 hours
Okay.
without peeing. You're like, no, there's too much wine.
You
Way
know-
too much wine is involved.
Imagine.
You're there swerving. It's like we'll crash into a toilet
no,
eventually.
we were drinking coffee and Celsius.
Celsius.
Like we had a lot of caffeine in our system.
Yeah. It was
Um,
great.
I don't even know what Celsius is.
It's
It's,
like an energy drink, but it's like a
Red
workout
Bull.
one. Yeah, but not
Almost.
sugary. It's not like, yeah. What do we want to?
Sparkling watermelon. Oh,
He's disgusting.
yeah. We
Better
don't
or
really
worse
have
than
much
Truly's?
watermelon flavored stuff over here.
I love watermelon.
What should we start with? We
Oh
do
my
have
god,
topics.
it's
Not
literally been
Celsius.
almost an hour. and we
I know.
haven't started.
It's got three flavors called Vibe. This is definitely a woman's energy drink.
Oh, Vibe's my favorite. That's like the fruit punch one.
Of
Good.
course it is.
We be vibing.
Vibing.
Oh,
That's
Black
my most
Rifle
hated
coffee.
term in modernity.
That stuff
Is
is
that-
good.
Is
It's
that,
so good. Oh
it's
yeah,
just
you
about
finally tried
vibes."
it. We got the I want to go to like an actual Black Rifle coffee, but we got the canned ones. I like the mocha one.
Yeah.
I want to try Death Wish coffee just because
Me
of the
too.
name.
I've tried it.
Good, bad. Oh. Uh-oh.
Knocking over
Are you
his
drunk?
whiskey again.
I think I'm gonna have to be right back.
Oh no! That
He spilled his milk. Like a
Well,
little kid that got in trouble. Like he's gonna get. I gotta go on.
I
My
guess-
mom's home.
should we read a couple more before?
Yeah, we'll read some super chats while we're waiting.
Time to clean whatever that was.
Oh no. Grab America by the poo sea for 2. Hot in the UK. Oh dear, is it over 50 degrees Fahrenheit?
Shut. That's funny. But, guys, I'm not kidding. It can get to 100 degrees Fahrenheit there. It's hot and they don't have AC. It's bad.
Oh, yeah. Justin Martin, thank you for the 5. Disbrew can't see himself in his video games.
Are you talking about the mecha game? Maybe.
Oh yeah, we're catching up.
Yeah.
Andrew, thank you for the 10. What is Disbrew's favorite movie so far this year? Madam Web or Borderlands? And oh, you know what? We'll keep this one for
We'll
when he
keep it
comes
for them.
back.
Yeah.
Hey, Zeus Davila, thank you for gifting a membership.
Saucy.
Chris Gore is in the chat right now. Thank you, Jesus. White fetish video viewing party, I assume. Okay. Chris Gore sent me a video. It's a parody on like, Asian fetishization.
Heard
It's
of it.
really
I'm familiar with
funny.
the term.
So this girl did a parody of what guys typically do to Asian women, like white dudes. So she did the same thing, but to the white dudes. And I kid you not, I've had every single thing that happened in that video happen to me. And I'm just thinking, oh my God, it's so cliche. It's so cliche. So I kind of want to go to a place and watch white men hit on like ethnic women just because
Go to an anime convention.
Oh, that's true. let's people watch next time.
Just people watch, sit on the side, and that'll be the stream. Look at this guy. Oh my God.
Do you ever do that? You like go to a restaurant and pretend to have the conversation between the two people, like one person will be anyways,
I haven't.
I'm
Maybe
so
we should
weird.
do it. It's okay. Gohan creates. Thank you for the 5. Extra girl, you trying Gundam Breaker 4 when it comes out?
What's that?
It's loading. Hold on.
Gundam Breaker 4?
Get up.
Gundam Breaker 4. A Gundam Breaker series. I mean, oh, it's a game. Sure. I'd be down. Look at my little Gundams right here. They're fighting in the air. Anyways.
Oh, I just noticed that. That's cute.
Yeah.
Lance for 199. We do everything better. Yeah, America. Thank you, Lance. And hold on, I saw something funny. John Thomas, extra girl fetishizes I can't even freaking talk right now. Fetishizes Mahler and Drinker because of their accent.
I don't fetishize them. I think they're cool people, but I would never fetishize
I would never.
them.
I feel like John needed to do that because he got kind of bullied in the chat for his name a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I will say this. I used to love going to like bed with Mahler's videos, but because
You're
of
not
like I
helping
guess
your case here.
no, he has a calming voice. But ever since like the long term
You
with
okay?
Real BBC.
Find out.
Oh,
What are you doing? Did you just knock over dominoes or
oh
something?
my god. Oh my god. He's
I just knocked over a load of boxes. Find out if the keyboard survives next week.
Oh, the keyboard. What did you spill on it?
Whiskey.
Oh no.
No, you wasted the whiskey and possibly the keyboard.
Well, whiskey is it's probably better than like beer or something. Because at least it's like 40% alcohol, so it depends what's in the rest of the.
You just
40%.
cleaned it. It's fine.
Well, no, it has to dry out. The thing I have spilt a significant amount of cider into a laptop before, and the laptop survived, but the entire like numpad just stuck together. So at least you won't get that with whiskey. Beer, sugar, very kind of sticky in those kind of situations. The issue was I always keep the bottle in exactly the same place. But because I kept the actual bottle in the place where I keep the cup, I moved the cup and immediately knocked it over.
Oh,
So-
no.
No.
Now
that
you
will
know.
treat me. I am a creature of habit for a reason. Everything works, and the moment I go against what works, it fails.
Yeah. You know,
we
you should
saved
put it
this
in
for you.
rice, and the Asians will come at night to fix it.
That's true. Yeah, they'll do their like mathematical magic.
This one was for you, Disparu. What's your favorite movie so far this year, Madam Web or Borderlands? And when are you going to ask Sydney Sweeney on a date, Disparu? Everyone's
Sydney
very
Sweeney
curious about your
has
dating life right now.
Sydney Sweeney has far more money than I do, so there's no way that'd happen.
He's like, whenever she asks, I'm there. He's like,
Well, no. I mean, it literally would never happen. Sydney Sweeney will have to date like somebody who's a bigger movie star than she is, because they're the only people
I
that
think
will
she's
out her.
engaged.
Yes, probably to a movie star.
So. Yeah, I just watched the Anyone But You that we were supposed to watch on our trip, but we never did, the rom-com. It was definitely decent, better than like a lot of recent ones. But I will say that her chemistry
Jonathan
with
Davino.
he had to Google it. Her chemistry with her co-star wasn't
Yeah,
like
you'll probably hear my keyboard
Mhm.
now because I had to switch to a mechanical one.
I have to
That's
see
okay.
what he looks like. Jonathan?
Lucifer the Doberman. Thank you to the Canadian too. Sending love from Vancouver Island. Thank you.
Ooh. What's up?
Next door to
Canadian.
X-Ray.
Across
Justin
the
Martins, thank
country.
you for the 5. We have plenty of Iwis? Disparu?
Use.
Iwis? I'm like, is
Iwi.
this like uwu, but like fancy or something?
No, but to be fair, like like Wales has plenty of U's, but they actually have U's that they
U's,
can
I
put in
get it.
language as well. You can't just keep all your U's in meat. Sometimes you have to use them so you can communicate efficiently and effectively, and most of all, correctly. People are like, oh, you've got such a great accent. No, this is just how words sound when they're pronounced properly.
Proper. Sorry. What do you guys want to talk about first? Let's get to a topic.
I'm trying to find out who Sydney Sweeney's boyfriend is.
Sweeney?
Johnny
Yeah.
Davino. He
Yeah.
works with Sydney Sweeney at her production company, 50/50 Films. Been together since 2018. Got
Yeah, but
engaged
what does he do?
2022.
He's a producer.
Ah, I have no idea. He's very private. We don't even know his age.
I don't care about his age.
I don't know.
I mean, presumably he's older than her. It's just like, what's his job? Is what I'm trying to go after.
Her handler.
How much does he make?
He handles.
No, the weird
A
thing
lot.
is, his IMDb says he's a producer, and even on his IMDb page, it lists 3 movies that he's produced. But you go down to his like the actual bit where it gives the credits, and there's only one thing listed. So he's so unknown. Like he doesn't even have anything listed. That is weird. Normally producers have all the credits and stuff.
Ian for 50. Thank
Secret
you for the
producer.
50.
I think I have more credits on IMDb. More people have gone onto IMDb and added me to random things than he has listed.
Disparu apologizing for the noise of his mechanical keyboard as if it's louder than his talking.
Let me see. Disparu on IMDb.
Thank you. Should we look up all of our
Sorry, I'll try and make
IMDbs?
it up to you. I'll wear a skirt.
Oh, he's
There it
he's
is.
been on his own channel, Disparu.
No, there is. It was like somebody added Jeremy to like 50 different things as producer, but I've got added to like half of Brie Larson stuff
I
that
know.
appears and all kinds of weird things.
Oh, you're the producer of your own channel. There you go. You've been on 1 Geeks and Gamers tabletop episode and 9
Just
of Drunk
one, yeah, just
videos.
one. It
Oh,
just
as a
lasted for like 2
moderator.
years.
Oh wait, no, it says chat moderator. Not
They
even-
list chat moderators.
Yes.
I get added as chat moderator to lots of things and then never do anything. I think the only
Yeah.
time I've ever banned anyone is when I did it accidentally.
My butt did it one time. That was by
Really?
accident.
There's
It's got a
worse
mind of its
fates.
own.
my butt has a mind of its own. Yeah, just like a separate person. It's just following her. It just stalks me my entire life.
Oh my
And
god.
now I'm looking at mine. It's weird.
This is the
Sorry.
equivalent of Googling yourself.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's just known for.
I've
We
been
could
on.
just found out she made Matrix 3 or something. It was like,
did.
oh.
I have a producer credit.
I have many producer credits. It's great. I love it. There's not
But at
much
least you
else
are
about me.
actually the producer on things.
That's true. Mark the Cyborg has an IMDb too.
I think everybody does. This is the whole thing. But that's what I mean, though. People have put more effort into like adding things to our IMDb pages, like randomly. I don't even know why I'm on this website. Compared to a literal producer who is so famous and so rich he got to get engaged to Sydney Sweeney. You haven't heard anything about him. Nothing's listed. That's weird.
Just
I'm not even on here for my own stuff for some of it. Like the one page is just like all of Jay's channels. I do other things, you know. Literally.
You're like, no, it's just his.
Just
There's just that and like conspiracy theories about Gina Carano. Those are the only thing.
Okay, sorry. Okay, let's get on to topics. We digressed there. My bad. We'll get back to super chats in just a minute. Let's just get on to a topic. Do you want to do D23, Jenna? We'll say Agatha. You want to do Agatha first?
That's what I would do.
Agatha, let's do it.
All right, I didn't watch it.
I really want to watch the trailer.
I haven't seen it. I didn't watch it deliberately because of this.
Yeah, same.
I like to have a genuine reaction.
I was like, why would I watch a trailer when I can spill whiskey over my keyboard?
I can't believe how genuine we are. Okay, no, but I didn't watch it because I didn't care. But I'm like, I'll save it for Saucy then. Okay. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I did the sound.
I hope they've got that really camp shot guy in it. That's what I want.
I did. Okay.
If that's in the trailer, I'll be happy.
All right, here we go.
Agatha.
You can hear it, right?
Oh, she looks so.
That looks, yeah.
She looks rough.
She's looking rough.
Uh-huh.
She's
doing the walk of shame through a forest.
She's doing through the forest. She's
it's better
walk of shame.
Daredevil's walk of shame. Oh my god.
She's just met Rumpelstiltskin and had way too much to drink. She was like, yeah, go on with you as well. I don't care.
I don't even remember what happened last night.
Like, whatever. I just woke up the next morning. I was still talking like this. I've taken my heels off. They're over here.
Who's been messing up everything?
No, don't sing.
It's gonna be again. The coven.
Oh god.
What?
It's just so horrible.
No. What really happened to you?
Well, she was evil and she got defeated. This is one of the issues the show will have, is that you are literally following a dedicated evil witch. So she can't be a hero. She'll never be a hero.
They might try to make her a hero though, because it's Disney.
No,
I think they'll do the acolyte.
Villain?
Yeah,
Oh.
she'll just. Well, I think they'll do the acolyte where she is the villain, she is evil, but they think she's good because it'd be like woman empowerment stuff.
I just wait for Disparu to start talking to pause.
And in all honesty, I actually think that a lot of people do think that she is a good person, because I watched a few other shows, like reality shows, and there's this one girl who I hate that I think America loves, and I'm like, I don't understand it. I don't understand
Ooh.
it. On Love Island, Leah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
But
a
it's
celebrity. I'm like, I don't know.
It's seeing the same patterns where she created all the problems. Then she ends up crying, and then she victimizes herself, which is what people relate to when they're on that side of that camp. And then they root for her. And you're like, how? Self-sabotage shouldn't be put on a pedestal.
No.
I don't think it's so much self-sabotage as the ability to not take accountability for your own actions. Like,
absolutely.
If you go through the entire, like, you have to remember where all this ideology comes from, and it is literally the whole idea that men have destroyed the entire world and everything wrong with my life is their fault. It's like, no, everything wrong with your life is your fault, almost by definition. But also, it's like you have literally had your way for the last 150 years, and that led to this. This is entirely your belief system. You've got everything you wanted, and you don't like it, and so. It's a horrific thing to have happen where it's almost better to believe in an ideology that never comes to power, because at least then you'll never see it fail. Whereas if you see it fail, well, now you have to come to the conclusion that you're evil or blame it on somebody else. And that's the position that a lot of people are in. They can't face the fact that they are literally evil and their entire ideology is evil, so they have to blame it on somebody else.
Which is what evil people do. And like the classical villain always blames someone else, for their problems. And it's really sad to see that we're at this point in our lives. where
Yeah.
we see our entertainment infected with this.
Yeah, it's like Marvel's supposed to be about superheroes, not the villains. Like I seen someone in the chat say, didn't they make Loki good? But technically, didn't he start like I liked his arc at least. There was character building there, you know, not in the show, but I mean,
Loki
in the
had
movies.
self-realization.
Yes, in the movies, and then they removed that from the show because they erased it.
Well,
It's like,
no.
okay.
They compressed the arc into like a 3-minute scene of him getting kicked in the balls. It's what they did in the show.
Anyways, let's finish the trailer.
Seekest thou the road to all that's foul?
It's not going to be a musical, is it? This is coming across like a musical trailer. There's been so much music in 26 seconds.
That
So
would
many
be really
songs.
not. Maybe.
She
Oh,
took
who's dead?
every little bit of power I had.
Oh, it's Wanda?
No. Wanda put her there.
No, but that dead body, W. Maximoff. That's Wanda Maximoff. Maximoff. However you pronounce her freaking last name.
Well, at the start, this is... I believe she's still trapped in Wanda's world. So, like, even though we saw it collapse in on itself, for some reason she's still trapped there. Wanda's children are still trapped there.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. I did
'cause this
actually
is the
watch
detective bit.
WandaVision. Okay.
Yeah, so she might not remember 100%. I don't know. The
No,
trailer
she
kind
doesn't
of
remember at all.
gives away, and then she has to figure it out, and then somehow, as a covenless witch, have a coven and get out. And it's just we know too much from these trailers as well.
Well, it's that the thing is that'll probably just be the first episode. Will be her escaping Wanda's X world. Yeah, because we know that somebody shows up and tells her and stuff. So it's probably that when Wanda left her world, she died in that world, and she's investigating her murder. Is what I'd guess.
Well, it's chat saying William Maximoff.
Oh, that's a joke, I'm sure.
I was like, is there like because guy? Is there something I'm missing?
Wanda.
Yeah. Okay.
Gather sisters far.
I'm assembling a coven.
We gotta get back.
That's her son, right? No, that's
On
not.
top.
That was Wanda's son.
Yeah,
That was Wanda's
it's
son?
Wanda's son.
Okay.
I'm gonna walk the road. Join me.
Now I think Wanda had a boy and a girl, so I don't know which one
Yeah.
that is.
That was. I think that was.
You
the
never
boy.
know.
You never
with
know these
Disney.
days.
Oh no, that was definitely, or at least used to be a boy.
Want to know something about the song is awful. What's the actress that plays Agatha again? I think it's also kind of hard to take her seriously because I think of her like in Step Brothers, like all the comedy she's done. So it's like when she's trying to be serious and she's like, "Join me." I feel like it's like a spoof. I don't know.
I've
it's
never
just
seen her
not-
in anything else, so I
She
don't
was
know.
in Step. You never seen Step Brothers? She was in that. I'm
Which
not
one was
surprised.
she?
She was the one that was married to the younger brother, but then she has an affair with
Oh
yes!
yes.
That's her.
Okay. Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
now.
Oh, I know. Is it?
Oh,
gonna
she
be
is
It
gonna
is a
sing.
musical.
She is
She's
gonna sing.
singing. Yeah, she's singing in a scene. This is a musical. Now, if you remember back to WandaVision, the whole Agatha All Along was a song. And so they clearly thought that was successful, and now they're transplanting the songs into her entire series.
Oh,
It wasn't. Everyone just made
God.
fun of it, and it got stuck in
Yes.
our heads unwillingly. We didn't
But-
want it there.
Put yourself into Parrot Analytics' shoes, where
Yeah.
you see all this social media stuff kick off, and people are taking the piss out of it, but all you see is mentions. And to you, all news is good news. All press is good press.
I don't want it.
So you end up with this?
No.
I'm upset that Kitty's in this from 70s show.
She just
Deborah
needs another
Thorpe.
job.
I like her.
Okay.
I know. Get your money. I mean, that 90s show is doing pretty well, so she's good there. But this, come on. Leave Kitty alone.
The Witch's Road will give you the thing you want most. If you make it to
A
the end.
husband. Oh,
What is it, like the Yellow Brick Road? What did
Yeah,
you say? The Witch's Road?
I thought it was going to be a husband and kids. No.
Hi,
No, it's
Kara.
Power,
Yeah, you
sorry.
recently watched it?
I
okay.
forgot the 2024 version of feminism.
I was gonna
Sorry.
say women don't want you know, a husband and kids. They
No,
just
they want
want to be
power.
They wanna be
strong,
witches.
independent women.
They were brought up on Palpatine, so obviously they just want power. That's all they want anymore.
Unlimited power.
Power, yeah. They can shoot lightning out of their fingers that just fries any child
Mm-hmm.
that comes near them. They'll be fine.
The road is a death wish.
Hey, I mean, to be fair, That line alone gives me hope for this series. If that road is a death wish, I am rooting for it. I want that to win immediately.
He wants
A
everyone to
2-episode
die.
series. I just want to see them all wiped out from the face of the planet. The rest is just like The Simpsons or something.
Oh, they even brought in Aubrey Plaza for this, huh?
Heard you guys were having a party.
Oh,
Hey.
it's gonna be one of those.
Shall we?
Oh wow.
It's gonna be a girl power show.
Yes.
It's gonna be the best show of
It's
2025.
too much estrogen already
It
for
might
me.
be. What's be?
Might
yeah.
be. This was like, I want it to be bad so bad, I can't wait.
No, well, yeah, no. From my perspective, this might be the best show of 2024.
Oh my god. He's like,
I
this is
think
my
I'm-
next She-Hulk.
I think this will top Willow as at least like the most disastrously written thing. You can't get this cast together and write something good. It's physically impossible. At least Willow had some things where it's like, yeah, we got the blokes here. Now we need to get rid of them so we can do the girl boss moments. This is just
All
girl
girl
boss moments.
boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch because I watched WandaVision and because why not? And because I can actually talk about it every week with these guys. Well, wait, is it gonna be a weekly release or just all in one shot?
Weekly release.
Okay.
Disney
I
tend to
think
do
it's
like
kinda
one or
smart to
two
do that.
first and then weekly.
Mm-hmm. So
Okay,
I
that's
think
good.
it's
Okay.
end of September it starts. I'm actually kind of excited for it. It'll be better than Rings of Power. It'll
Well,
be
funnier than
funnier.
Rings of- yes.
It'll be funnier in that sense. It's not purposely funny, but I'm gonna laugh at it.
Mm-hmm.
It will test us.
They're gonna make us make
Oh my
sandwiches.
god, is that the
That's
Wicked
Wicked!
Witch? Hey, don't do that. I'm just kidding. Hold on.
No. Do not ruin my
There you go.
reputation by
I
linking me
am-
this.
I am offended.
I am a strong,
It will test
independent.
us.
It's either Wicked or She-Hulk has become a witch as well. One
That
or
would
the
be
other.
great. Disparu would be so pleased with that.
Imagine
Hey,
two worlds collide.
The more they push the Avengers, She-Hulk season 2 stands a real chance. She I don't know who else
She-Witch.
apart from She-Hulk they can have in the Avengers, right? So she might get a season 2.
Oh god.
This might happen. Don't
It's probably
take
gonna
this
be
from
like a
me.
joke that'll be like, "Oops, sorry, didn't mean to bring you here. Wrong show."
The
Something
one thing
stupid
that
like that.
makes Disparu happy is the possibility of
Look,
She-Hulk.
I'm an Englishman. There's not much in the world that actually makes me happy. Like, don't take this from me.
Just
It's
whiskey
the one
and
hope
steak.
that keeps me going. That
Sorry.
and Warwick Davis.
knowledge
I
of
keep messaging him.
Oh no, she's there. Okay, she's in there.
I don't even know what we're up against.
Oh
We've all been there.
god.
Like
Oh,
you dump her, but
God.
That's
she dump.
creepy.
Yeah,
Oh,
you dump her, but she's
God.
just an influshable and keeps coming back.
That must be Kathleen Kennedy.
See, you'd get more jokes if you watch Coupling.
Oh well, one day.
One day
It's the
I have
best
it.
comedy of all time.
All right, all right.
Why is she wearing this shirt? Ew.
Oh, It's extra.
Oh, look at me! I can do the thing that literally
can
every
do a
human on Earth can
backend.
do. Everyone can do that.
No.
Prove it.
I wanna
No, I'm
see you
kidding.
try.
Just
Prove it.
break something.
I
again.
can do that.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Mark could
it,
do that.
Do it. No, he can't. He only has one
I
leg.
can literally put my leg behind my head. Both of
do
them.
it. Do it.
I'm not going to do
Prove
it on
it.
camera in this heat when I don't have socks on. I'm
Oh,
not
it's
going on
heat.
Wiki Feet just for this.
Wait, so you can see your feet. Are they hairy?
I haven't looked.
Look at it.
Look.
Oh my god,
Look
now I'm
at
having to
it.
expect my own feet on
Live
camera.
reporting,
something over
please.
again. He's gonna knock something over again. His milk.
On the knuckle bits on like the big toe and the second one.
Okay, there we
Okay.
go.
There you
This room has
go.
hairy toesies. Okay, anyways. I
Only
okay.
on the knuckle bits. We're not spreading rumors that I'm some kind of weird hobbit creature.
Okay, next time we are in person, I'm going to hold you to this. I want to see you put your foot behind your head.
Oh, when it gets colder, I'll put my legs behind my head on camera.
It's too, I never heard
Hey.
you
It's
say
too hot for me to put socks on, is basically what I'm saying.
Okay.
Too hot
Winter
for that
time.
stretch. Okay.
Let's remember this, chat.
It'll be a
There
Christmas
was a-
present for you guys.
There was a time when I was in primary school where I said that once. I can't remember what it was. We must have been in PE at the time. And people were like, no, you can't. So yeah, I can. So at one point, I put both of them behind my head because I'd never tried both of them before. I knew I could do it separately. Put both of them behind, and this guy just went, on my forehead and literally just pushed
Did you
me.
fall?
And I fell back like a turtle. I was just like stuck on my back. It was like there's nothing you can do. It's like both like that. It's like, oh my god.
I can just see you be like, do I rock
Yeah,
back
well, you
and
just
forth?
go back really slowly, and with, like, you're kind of stuck there.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh,
This is
God.
a trailer.
Our worst nightmares.
How do we pass this trial without any power?
We survive, like witches have been doing for centuries.
It's better when they threw them into a river, to be honest. Like
For
that was way
Halloween?
more entertaining.
For Halloween, should we dress up as these witches? X-ray could be her.
Obviously,
Obvious
'cause I'm
reasons. I'll do Aubrey Plaza.
What is
because I
going
think
on
that'd
in
be
the one
fun.
that's second from the right? Is that the bloke, or is it just somebody who's
Right here?
topless? No,
Right here?
on the
No.
right, the other
On
side.
the right.
The other
There?
side.
That
I
one,
can't
yeah, the one at the
tell.
back, second from the right.
Is that Agatha?
No, not on the
Like a-
not the one on the end, but the one
Right
just
here.
behind. Yeah, that one. It looks like you can see
I think
their
that's
chest.
Agatha.
Or
No, Agatha will be the one in the middle at the front.
no,
She will
that's
be
the
No,
leading
Asian
them.
girl.
Asian. That's X-ray girl.
Oh, no, but
Are you
Who else
getting
would have,
Asian
like-
and white people mixed up now?
That's
well,
We are
we're-
white
we're-
adjacent.
Look, we're close. We're close enough. We can make an alliance. Whereas the one in the back, it literally looks like they've got a cutout in the middle.
yeah. She probably has one of those like.
Oh,
mesh
it's like the
shirts on.
Oswalda shirt,
Yeah,
essentially,
let's see if it
maybe.
shows
Okay,
anymore.
so
Yeah,
where's
that's
the
Agatha,
bloke
right
that-
there? There.
Oh,
You-
that's a deep V cut. That's her boobies.
Oh, is that okay? So that's what Disparu's got to wear for Halloween. It could be Agatha.
That's not the same clothing. If you go back to the bit just before it, because didn't
It
the one
is.
before it.
Oh, crap.
Witches have been doing-
Hold on. Let me just mute it and let it go. Put it back up. Hold on. X-ray girl.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
It's the very
girl.
next scene.
it's a guy right there. Is the guy.
That's
it is the
guy.
same. It's just,
I think that's Agatha. Yeah.
It is,
The
it's
reason why I
Agatha.
got confused is because on the other picture it's clearly like a V shape, but in this it looks like it
I
seals
think
at
her
the top.
hair's in the
Yeah,
way.
her
It
hair
looks
must
like
be
she's
covering
wearing
in
a
the dress.
choker or something, maybe.
Yeah, it
Called
looks like it's
fashion,
sealed at the
Disparu.
top.
It's called fashion.
I'm sorry, the people who literally color coordinated. Oh, let's wear red together. It'll be amazing.
We
Oh, maybe
didn't
she put
plan
her
it.
headband around her
But
neck.
make
I
sure
don't
that
know.
we die
maybe.
first.
Hey, you need to calm down.
It's what it says in Star Trek.
I'm sorry you spilled your whiskey.
I'm sorry that you've never watched Star Trek.
Oh,
I'm
then
just
you were gonna
sorry
look
'cause
at-
I'm Canadian.
Hoagie's put the chat summary. Viewers are commenting on a variety of topics, including Disparu's physical appearance, X-ray
Hey, there's no
transformation,
need for that.
Dan Bask, the upcoming Wizards Beyond.
Why is X-Ray transforming into Dan Vass?
Why am I going trans,
No, to be
guys?
fair,
I don't
I can see it. You know, you open your eyes a little bit, and there you go.
Give her
Yeah.
a bun. She's
You
ready
just
to
need
go.
to start singing, get into metal.
Rawr! I don't know.
Is that how
Yeah,
you
you're like,
do
this is
metal?
my
Rawr.
Dan impression. Just do scary eyes.
Amanda, I want to see your feet.
I support this message.
Oh no.
Anyways, I'm sorry. Catch you
Oh,
You just couldn't. You couldn't
my
stop
God.
the Canadian, could you? You're like, no, it had to come to the front. I have to apologize.
Is that even here? And she's saying sorry.
I'll get deported if I don't apologize.
If I was in the UK, I think I'd be arrested by now.
Oh no, well, yeah, there is that. You have to know which lines you can push. Insulting women, definitely not one of them. I mean, I do my best for society, but
no.
apart from that.
My contacts are gonna fall out.
I'm crying a little. Oh my god.
Okay, this will fix it.
What happens next?
I don't think anyone wanted to see that. Nobody wanted to see Agatha in like a side boob dress.
Side boob.
I don't think
Not
anyone has ever
Agatha.
existed that wanted that. It's like, no.
Maybe Aubrey Plaza.
Well, like cast Sarah Shahi or something in the role, and maybe.
I just need these witches to get me to the end.
Where's the man?
Evil. He's taking a back seat. This is a girl show.
I wanted to go, oh!
But the road!
That was my favourite part of the first trailer, is where I went,
The bodies are really piling up.
Hey, so there is some plus points, you know?
So
Every
is
cloud, at least occasionally, they get drowned in a sink.
Is Aubrey evil? I'm
Yeah, she's a
confused.
witch. I think she
Yeah,
raised up
all the
on
witches are
ground,
evil, yeah.
so
Oh, that's
It-
true.
it-
All of them.
In WandaVision, she entered Wanda's, like, essentially, Wanda lost her husband, so she, in her depression, invented, like, a fantasy world where she had kids and stuff, and she was happy, you know, surprise, and had, like, resurrected her husband. So then Agatha came in and started to suck out Wanda's powers, but then Wanda fought back and took all of her powers instead, and left Agatha as, like, a powerless witch, which is where this starts.
yeah, Aubrey's playing Aubrey. It's true.
Yeah. She's
yeah, I
hot.
agree. She is easy on the eyes. Yeah, she's
Y'all should watch White Lotus. She wears a lot of bikinis in that. Just-
I mean, I stand by what I said about Borderlands, that it was also known as Red 3. Retired and extremely dangerous. I'm just saying, we need to bring back an age range in Hollywood of where you can be a main actor.
Oh my God. Especially when you're trying to act as a 20-year-old or whatever.
Look, I just think the main people in Hollywood movies should be attractive. That goes for the men and the women. This is basic entertainment. It's the same in games, it's the same in movies, it's the same in everything. If you make an advert and you want to sell toilet fluid, the person should be attractive. You will make more money.
It's like that Axe body spray commercial having a
yeah.
guy and then a bunch of hot women once he sprays it run towards him. That's why a lot of high school kids and middle school kids used it.
yeah.
They're
They didn't
like,
shower
oh.
either, so it was just like must, and then X spray out high school.
Over
middle
here it's
school.
called Lynx, but they use the same advert. It is literally spray and then there's a beach with like thousands of women after them.
Just flocking to them. So
Yeah.
I've never seen White Lotus.
Whereas
Is that a
it turned
show?
out they should have just like
Yeah.
printed their bank balance out there.
Why do you let
There's
them
a reason Elon Musk has like 24 kids.
believe those things about
It's the X.
Yeah,
No.
it's his Lynx
It's-
body
it's
spray.
his-
He
it's his
wears
Axe
Lynx
body spray.
Africa. They were impossible to resist. He wears like the cheapest stuff you can
this
find.
is how he stays rich, okay?
That's how he's a billionaire. He can buy Twitter and wear Lynx Africa.
It
You
just
won't know
works.
until you try it. Okay.
You, because the truth is too often.
Oh, there he is.
why do you let them believe those things about you?
Because the truth.
He's got to go before the end of the trailer.
That's the third time. Just
What is he
ruined it.
wearing? Even my clothes don't have that many holes in.
So that's that's Wanda's son, right?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, but what's happened
Okay,
to his
where's-
clothes?
So I'm not worried about who he is. I'm
His
worried
top
about
is
where
more
he's
torn
been,
than
what's
like
going on with
Jeremy's
him.
jeans.
He wanted to create a bonus hole.
He's got quite a few of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a lot of clothes older than Chat, and they're not that bad.
Wow.
Truth is too often.
It's not a prize. A prize isn't something you earn, you silly tart. A prize is something you win.
You got to get X-ray that wig.
I'm so
Dude, Rocket.
confused. I really don't want to have that haircut.
Just get the wig.
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
I'm kidding. We won't do this. We'll do fun Halloween stuff again.
I mean, I'd be willing to do whatever that outfit was with
not the hair
circle
though.
glasses.
Yeah.
Time to finish the road. Last one there is a nice
She
person.
looks burnt.
I think she's muddy or burnt.
We
get the heck.
Everybody, but it literally looked like scarring down her face.
I wonder if like the entire season is her trying to leave this place now, just given what we've seen.
Well, I from
She
what
wants
it is,
her
it's,
prize.
it sounds like the first episode, or at least the first half maybe, will be her in WandaVision's like old world. Then somebody comes along, they tell her about, oh, you need to get a Coven of Witches. She gets a Coven of Witches. Then they go down this road, and I think it's the road which is the rest of the series. So it's essentially her trying to get her power back, which, just like Borderlands and everything else, is all basically a metaphor that, oh, well, all you have to do as a woman is to become powerful, and then you can overthrow the shackles of everything else in society, and then you'll just be really powerful and amazing.
Yeah. You just have to accept that you're a woman and you're just powerful who you are.
What a nice message.
Not let
Actually,
the
so
man
nice.
hold you down.
I mean, you can live a delusion, it's fine.
That's what I'm saying. Is that's all a delusion.
No, Wanda's original message was actually way better. That she actually lost her lover, and so what did she do? She retreated to a world where she ended up with a husband and children. That is the message that you were used to have in all movies. That everything happened because of the family unit and like 2.4 children. The men would fight and die and kill a load of people in order to defend their children, and the women would also defend their children and fight alongside him. And they'd probably be behind him, but they'd also have scenes where they're like the children are in danger and they risk themselves in order to protect the kids. That was a way better message than, oh, you just need to be magic. Like, you need to actually seek out physical power and then just be lonely for the rest of your life. It is...
But that's their happy ending. The people who are part of this.
I don't think it's their happy ending. I think it's their life. And now we are retroactively seeing them, like, post hoc rationalizing the decisions that they've made. So they've already gone too far down that path to actually ever come back. So now they're trying to drag people along behind them and also justify why they did it in the first place.
Well, and then to have people think that their version of that, as I call happy ending, and sharing it and telling other people that this actually is a great, great life. You'll be happy being here like I am by myself. And so then we get the destruction of all of this here. Which is sad.
It's like, there's a reason why in like Bond and everything else, it always ends up with the guy getting the girl. Because even with Bond, where it's like, yeah, I can't stay with them forever because my life's too dangerous and it wouldn't actually be fair or right for me to put them through that kind of thing. Like, the point was the guy did the stuff in order to get the girl at the end. So getting the girl was the important part of the story, even though it was just kind of washed over at the end and in the last few seconds. Because guys like the stuff that he did, but then he still got the girl at the end. And it seems all in this, it's like, okay, so she gets a lot of power. Yeah, but why? Why is she doing any of this stuff? There's never a reason why they always hunt for power. They just always hunt for more power. It's like, yeah, but what do you want to achieve with it? Well, I'm just doing power for power's sake. And so they just seem adrift without any goals in life, which I don't think the audience can grip onto.
No, and I agree. Steven said that the lame title it is, but they should have just named it Agatha. But they're going on the song. I get it, but it's kind of dumb for this. I think wasn't there another name they were
in the scenes.
There was a lot. There was Harkness something. The Lion Witch in the Wardrobe or something. The Witch in her Fabulous Wardrobe.
Oh, geez.
I think it should be called Agatha All Alone.
Yeah, more fitting. That's much better. Good job.
To be fair, the best title I've ever used.
Episodes.
The best title I've ever used for a video, and it wasn't even mine. I played an FPS and this guy ran past me on PlanetSide, and he was called Obi-Wan Can Blow Me. And I remembered that for like 5 years.
Wow.
Until the Obi-Wan Kenobi show came out, and I just used it as the title and the intro of every episode.
Wow.
Funny.
Wow. I kind of
like it.
Well, it was so good. I remember, like, because I was a small channel at the time, but then I remember being really excited because Chris Gore used it in one of his videos as like his thumbnail, and I was like, yeah,
yeah, I'm funny. No, that is funny though. That's
well, no, it was more like I'm amazed Chris Gore even saw it. It was that kind of reaction because it's like, especially when you first start, you're like, I know all these people. You don't expect them to have like any idea who you are.
Yeah. No, I get that.
It's
I've been
surprising
there.
when you see things repeated. Yeah.
Get it.
I'll mute myself, otherwise it'll sound like I'm peeing.
Maybe you are. Maybe you
No,
aren't.
look, it's a bottle.
Maybe
and
it's
a cup.
Maybelline.
Bottle.
Oh, fair
Okay.
enough. Yeah,
A bottle of whiskey.
you asked for it.
Carlos Lima, thank you for the 5. I've been in a theater. He's don't worry, his mom's not saying anything. No, he started giggling.
Hi, Mama
immediately.
Lima.
Hi. I've been in a theater by myself. It's kind of creepy.
No, it's
I wasn't-
amazing.
It's so
I have a
great.
few
You don't
times.
have to
I like
worry
it.
about anything or anyone bothering you or you
Look.
bothering them.
For some reason, and I don't know why it is, there is a weird stigma about going to the cinema on your own. I think it's the best way to go to a cinema. I don't want to talk. When I'm watching a movie, I don't want to talk to anyone. So once you decide that, to me, there's no real difference whether you go with somebody or not. Because you're not going
When
to
you
talk
go
to
with
them
someone,
anyway.
you could do the look like when something cool happens, like I don't know.
I've
No,
never
you're right, we
done
don't talk.
the look.
I-
To be
I've
fair,
never
you're
done that in
British.
my life.
You're British. You don't
British and a
interact with
muscle
people when
girl.
you watch things.
Yeah.
Well, not unless you're dating, obviously.
Are you okay? Okay, well, there you go.
I thought
End
there
of
was
sentence.
more after that.
No, not more whiskey. Gohan creates. Thank you for the 5. You hear H3L is now in development from Valve. Oh, Half-Life 3. I'm both hopeful and
Really?
yet hesitant.
The thing is, I have heard that rumor for probably at this point, literally like the last 25 years or something. So it's one of those things where I like believe it when I see it, because the way the Valve system works, they don't have it's really weird actually for a successful company. They don't have a hierarchy of people, although they literally have a flat development structure. So somebody who's working on Half-Life 3 tomorrow can decide, I want to do VR now, and they just leave. So they work on what interests them in the company, which is very strange for a company to do. So Half-Life 3 has been started and finished multiple times, and so I'd rather wait for official announcements where they're committed.
Yeah. Psychotic Mongoose, I get that. I hate when you get excited and then it's like doesn't actually happen. Thank you for gifting a membership. Sorry, I didn't mean to like skip over. I wanted to add to it, but I was already starting to thank Psychotic Mongoose for the membership. Thank you.
Saucy.
Marker Reality for 5. I saw Disparoo's reviews of both Madam Web and Borderlands. He seemed to have a lot more fun making fun of Borderlands.
That was because the reviews of Borderlands, there was one comment, it's like, I've only watched a minute of this video, I've already died laughing. That was the first 30 seconds of my Borderlands review was just quotes from critics. That's why I had fun. I enjoy things, especially when it comes to critics, where they often kind of pad stuff. But when they find a movie that it's safe to dislike, and they just go full bore at it, and they just come up with really ingenious original insults, that's what I like. And that's what Borderlands had.
Grab America by the Pussy for 5. Show us on the doll where Mahler made you touch yourself.
Hey, look, multiple, not just one, not two, multiple people in Vegas all said my accent, Mahler's accent, and Critical Drinker's accent. And Little Platoon. Can't leave Little Platoon out.
Mm-hmm. This is where Mahler made me touch myself.
Creepies.
He put you to sleep?
Yeah, I used to fall
he's like
asleep
a
to
mech.
Mahler's.
Oh, he wasn't
videos.
here for that. He was cleaning up his
Oh, well, you're
whiskey.
cleaning up your keyboard. Yeah, I fell asleep to Mahler's videos, and then eventually it transformed into anytime I hear basically anyone from any panel
you
I'm on
conditioned
working.
yourself.
I can't listen to it anymore because then my head
'Cause
goes
you
to
go to-
work brain. And
Oh.
then I can't sleep.
Okay. No, I thought you were going to say that you fell asleep to his video so many times you conditioned yourself. So when you heard his voice, you just got sleepy. I
Can you
thought that's
imagine?
where that was going.
No.
I was like, oh no, okay.
Nightmare for 2. You guys see
Oh my
the
God,
Olympic
so
Wonder
good.
Women's
It's
breakdancing? No,
horrendous. It's
No,
I
horrendous.
didn't.
Now, to be fair, the clip that's going around is from an Australian woman who says she doesn't practice. Like, she barely practices. She's
you
in the
tell?
Olympics. Well, this is that whole thing. Because it's a new kind of tactic, there is no person that's done it for the last 4 years or something. So it looks like, especially being Australia, and I know Australia likes to think they've protected themselves from stuff. No. So they just seem to have found the first woman they could find who breakdanced. and just put her on stage.
That my favorite is when she goes on the floor and she does this like the foot to hand toe or feet to hand movement. They're like like you're cleaning the floor.
It's like poses. Like, this isn't about posing, you silly bint. This is meant to be about dancing. That reminds me. Do you remember there was a story about some kind of blonde woman with short hair on TikTok, and her dad was like this break dancer, like a professional break dancer. And she was going on, oh, he split up with my mum because he wanted to be a professional breakdancer and stuff. There was a whole, like, long TikTok arc about these two making videos back and forth. I thought it'd been on this channel. Maybe not, but I thought we talked about it. It turns out the most recent thing is he has just disowned her because she keeps lying about him. Oh, one thing you might know, X-Ray, at least, is, because I remember we talked about this in F&T at some point, it was the same girl that said she dated a guy who, like, paid for everything, and it awoke something, like, animalistic in her. And she's like, I might have to leave all these Californian blokes behind. It's the same girl, right? Her dad was a professional breakdancer.
Oh, that girl. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And she kept coming out with all these stories about him, about how he left her mum and stuff. And then he'd come back and be like, no.
Complete
you know
lie.
what divorces are like. Sometimes the mothers poison the child and stuff. This is what I did when I divorced the mother. I gave her like $3 million. And then I put like $4 million into an account that was just for my daughter and stuff. And it's literally, we are talking millions here. And she's like, he never talked to me. He's like, okay. She kept coming back with stuff. Every time he replied, she replied. She's like, you never spoke to me. And then the next thing he'd be like, okay, here's the photo that I took 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Here's the picture when we went to the beach last week. And he just kept coming back with evidence. And she kept lying about him. And now he's like, I'm just cutting her off. I'm not giving her any more money. She gets nothing from me anymore because of what she's done. And he seems like the nicest bloke you would ever come across. And she is just an absolute cow.
Lunatic.
Well, yes, but you could gather all that from the fact that she's like, oh, I just found this guy, and suddenly I felt the feminism leave my body. It's like, no, you just found a guy who'd pay for you and give you free stuff.
And then that's when you're like, oh, maybe I like this type of thing.
Well, yeah, but it wasn't a benefit, right? Saying I will just get freebies off a bloke isn't based. You know, there's nothing amazing about that. You're not providing anything to society doing that. It just really highlighted to me there's a desire with people to, and I think you saw this with the Hokto girl and the girl, I can't remember who it was before, the one who used to bake all the time, where they really want to go, oh, look, we've got one, isn't she based? And they could do the most minuscule of things, and they always turn out to be horrible people.
Is the Hokto girl actually horrible, though? I think she's dumb in a lot of ways.
It's not. I wasn't talking about her. I was talking more about the one that cooked.
Okay.
The one that just said like a slur when she was baking or something, and the next thing she's like famous.
Oh,
that's the one I was referring to with that statement.
I did
the
not care.
Hokto girl, I don't really know anything about her because I thought that entire situation was stupid from the start, and I don't really know why she took off. So I know literally.
When guys hear a girl
her.
say something about sex and wanting to blow dudes,
I don't think it was guys that made her blow up, though. I think it was the women. That meme seemed to take off across women way more than blokes.
Really? Oh, well,
yeah.
I mean...
Well, yeah, because I think to blokes, it was the same thing as just being like, oh, you pay on the first date. And they're like, and? It's like, well, yes, obviously you should.
You know, the original Hokto people were, but before that was probably the Call Her Daddy podcast when they were talking about the...
Oh, they were weird. If that's the right one, was that the one with the adult stars in it?
No. That's not the one. Call Her Daddy was two girls originally from Barstool.
Are you sure? Was
She's not an adult star.
I can't remember which one I'm on about now. There was some podcast I remember there was two adult stars who were talking about how they're high value. That's what no,
it wasn't that one. But I've seen that clip that they think they're high value.
They're like, I'm a trophy wife. I'm like, wait, what? That was weird.
She Hoktoed on that trophy.
Well, how else are you supposed to polish brass? It's cheaper than Brasso.
Prosthetic head for 2. Thank you. UK has tech. Last week we got steps.
Huh?
It's just like sideways.
I'm so confused.
I think this is when we were
trying
talking about
to
the
work it out.
keyboard
I'm struggling.
Maybe.
If you expand in the chat, you obviously don't have super chat again. If you expand in the chat, I'll try and work it out.
Try and work it out. I don't have it starred.
Hi, Mark and friends.
Hi, Mark. Dave Chandler for 10. The hilarious thing is that almost everything Disney is producing now involves witches as aggrieved heroes / victims. From Marvel to Lucasfilm to Disney Animation, these people are satanic. You know, that's not, probably not a stretch. Thank you for the 10.
Witches are not like I think you can make a story about witches and it be good. There's been so many shows that I've watched with witches. This was just
and it's done way better than this. Yeah. But
the reason why witches were interpreted as demonic is because they're anti-Christian, because they're pagan. And so if you are Christian, they would be innately demonic. If you're not Christian, then you'd probably think they could go either way. But I do agree there's a very strange amount of like demonic and evil content being put out at the moment. Trying to push it as good. And I'm not even religious. And it's got to a point where Christians are like, I can't believe you're doing this kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you had a point. Because this is weird.
Yeah, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, that's a good example. That was just like a fun, lighthearted show. It wasn't all out like these. Very weird. Not Sabrina, but what they're doing. Justin Martin's for 5. This will be so retarded if Marvel actually tries to make better content, but still incorporates this crap into it. I know.
Yeah. And I mean, you can have characters of different backgrounds, genders, and whatever, as long as it's written well.
Yeah. Which they definitely aren't.
They're not.
My issue with when people go, I just want good writing, is I don't think people realize what you mean when you say you want good writing is you want writing that you agree with. All writing comes with morals, a morality, and a moral story. And you want stuff that you agree with from a value proposition. But everyone's like, no, I just want it to be neutral. You actually don't. You want, like, a hero is good because you agree with his actions. You can't, someone isn't a hero if they're doing something you abhor, right?
Yeah.
You consider them to be evil actions. So nobody really wants neutral content. Nobody wants content without a message. They want content with a message that they agree with. And that's fine. The issue is that content in Hollywood recently has gone entirely against what most of the population wants, to try and convert the population to a different message. That's been the issue. I think people thought that everyone had universal values before, and we're finding out you don't. You do have a specific, particular message and morality, and that's fine.
And that's the weird part is, like, I do think that people intrinsically, at least, should love their family.
Yeah.
And I'm finding it increasingly alarming how much people don't actually like their family.
Yeah, good point, Hokies. The messages took over. There's no story. It was just yelling the message. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's yelling a message that you don't agree with. Like, if you have, if you take your average James Bond movie, right? So it's a masculine guy, goes round, kills a load of people for king and country, and then gets the girl. That's not a neutral message. There's a very specific point of view, and patriarchal point of view, which is being pushed in that. It's just most people agree with it. So that's the way that our countries have been aligned for literally hundreds of years, thousands of years. It's the way all of society has been aligned. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Sorry, y'all got quiet. I was getting ready to read supers. We all got quiet. Jose Taco's been a member for 6 months. Thank you. X-Ray Girl is Mark watching Borderlands behind your back. Also,
he's cheating on you with Borderlands. He's trying to make himself depressed.
I mean, hey, go ahead. If you want to watch Borderlands, baby, go ahead. I don't want to.
I'd rather watch it on your own than with me.
Yeah. Also, favorite YouTube genre that people might not know you like. I like cars and cooking.
ASMR cooking.
Do you?
Oh yeah, I like hearing like the knife cutting and the sliding and the sizzle when you put it in the pan. Ugh. Anyways,
Yeah,
and cleaning.
The weird ASMR thing that I like, and I still can't work out why I like it, but have you ever watched soap cutting videos? This is going to sound really weird.
No.
There's
I
something
have.
about soap cutting is the same as like when you peel a new thing off technology. There's something satisfying about it, and you don't know why. And you're like, what? Who would watch a soap cutting? This is for real. And then you watch it, like, oh my god, this is weird. I don't get it. So yeah, I watched that. I watched tech videos. There's also
Carpet cleaning videos.
the water pressure cleaner
satisfying.
people.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love those.
And they're like,
Wait.
here's this drive that didn't exist under a
Oh
garden,
my
and they like dig it up,
God.
and there's like paving underneath and stuff.
So
Yeah.
satisfying. Oh.
There's also, if I could shout out like one channel which is kind of not in our sphere, but I find them really interesting. It is Based Camp. The guy is hilarious. His wife is really
We'll look him
interesting,
up.
and they're one of the couples where you're like, you are two really, really unique people, but you just fit together. They were like literally they were made for each other in a relationship, and
I feel
it's
like
a
I've
really
seen them before.
it's a if you've watched Side Scrollers, they've been on Side Scrollers. Blabs
Okay.
asked like who do I watch out of this sphere, and I said them, and they went to Side Scrollers.
Oh, okay.
But they're both really smart, really interesting, and I don't think he knows where exactly the line is of there's a line, right, where something is true, but YouTube doesn't like you saying it, and he doesn't care. Like if it's true, he'll say it. And so yeah, I really like Based Camp's channel.
Okay.
I
And
like.
they give a very kind of traditional message. They're both pronatalists more than anything else. So quite often they will chase the truth of like data, but they also believe in like family and just sticking together and kind of the survival of the human species and culture.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. I watch a lot of like a bunch of just random stuff because I get burnt out on pop culture. So there's a few different, I guess, genres. We'll say I'll go with organization streams. Like not streams, but videos. I love that.
Like restocking.
Restocking and then like you said, cleaning stuff and just we're such girls. I
I
like to watch
know.
cleaning and baking videos.
God, just
I do,
just
though.
to see how clean something can get from super dirty is just so
Yeah.
satisfying. Like another one is cars. Like seeing someone restore like a very dirty car. Satisfying.
Yeah,
Don't know why.
it is. No, it is. I'm an OCD queen. Yeah. Little bit. Not
See,
too
that's
bad.
what Sydney. That's why Sydney
little.
Sweeney should start a channel just repairing cars.
I think she would do really well.
Well, she does on her like a what was it, a TikTok and stuff, and nobody knew that actually. That was a whole thing because it came out of nowhere around the time where that other girl got famous for like noodling, I think it was.
Yeah,
with the
the
car.
Hannah Baron girl.
Yeah, it looked like she was copying her, and then it turned out no. Sydney Sweeney has been releasing like car mechanics videos for months or
Ages.
years at this point. Yeah.
Oh, I feel like actually I might look that up. ASMR camping video.
I've heard yeah, someone suggested.
I've heard good things.
I've heard good things about this.
ASMR is a really interesting topic because it's one of the things you either get or you think is the weirdest thing on earth. And it literally comes down to whether it affects you or not. Like if you get like the sensation of ASMR, you just instantly understand why it like people would watch this stuff. Otherwise, it just comes across as creepy.
Well, the only thing I don't understand is when people watch eating videos, like I get misophonia,
Oh no.
which
Yeah.
is disgusting. Like I don't like
Mhm.
hearing people chew, so I don't
Mhm.
understand
Yeah.
why people like that.
Different people have different triggers. Like mine is like whispers and stuff. And the soap I still don't know why the soap cutting is so satisfying, but
There's something cool about it. Yeah, I've seen those. Taking the bar soap and just like
Well,
especially
it's
when
the
they have
same
like
thing
the
as like
wires that just go through it. There's something odd. It's one of those oddly satisfying things that you just can't what?
peeling the plastic off a monitor shouldn't be satisfying, but
What?
it is.
It is.
I just letting just finish. One thing I used to love watching was people popping pimples. Oh my god, it's
No,
so
no,
satisfying.
No,
Yuck.
no. You know why? Because
Yes!
that also
You
goes
said
along
no.
with. Have you ever seen horse? I don't know what it's called. Where they put the new horseshoes on them.
Oh, I think.
Oh, like when they clean. Yeah. I've heard.
Yeah,
I've
and
seen
then like
it.
they clean it all up, and then they put the new horseshoe on. Those two things go hand in hand as the same
cow.
genre.
Really?
And I'm like, no, yeah.
I've never watched it, so I don't know.
On TikTok and stuff, like literally, they're
That
all
sounds
over the place.
interesting.
Yeah,
You know the other thing that does well on TikTok? It's a lumberjack who just chops wood.
Of course, that does good.
It's literally because he's like, oh yeah, break
swing
for
a
me.
big axe around.
Well, no,
bunch
because
of
he is
women just like-
really muscly, but it's what he says as he breaks. He's like, yeah, break for me. Go on.
Oh,
give it to
okay,
me.
no,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
That's too much.
Oh,
That's too much.
yeah, you're gonna
Way
break
too
for me,
much.
and then he like
Oh,
cracks.
stop. Ew.
The entire thing is like him cutting wood in his lumberjack outfit,
Making
and then he just shows the
sexual
comments of the thirst, and the thirst
no.
is. Hey, you thought Manny Jacinto was bad? The thirst for this guy is out of this world.
Okay. I used to do facials, so that's the reason why I like pimple popping videos.
Okay.
So it didn't come out of nowhere.
But there are people. I think when I was on Cody's channel, him and Anna were talking about that. That they were like when they hung out at a con, they were sitting there watching like pimple popping videos. I'm like,
I'm not gonna do it at the con. That's weird.
No. Like they were just like on the phone looking.
To be fair, there's probably plenty of people you could do it on the con.
No, like they had
Yeah, you get
downtime or something, but they were
satisfaction
sitting off to
live.
the side or something. I don't know, something like that. Thank you for the 50 Ian hoof vets that go around fixing cow hooves. That's
And
satisfying viewing.
It's not for me. I know.
That's better.
It's
than
one of those things
pimples.
where the first time you see it, like I didn't even know how they could do this because they go like really deep on the horse hoof and stuff. And like, surely that hurts. No, they don't feel it at all. So that's kind of interesting. And then you get like 50 videos back to back of the same thing immediately afterwards because they just think you like that kind of stuff. But I kind of creeped myself out because it just destroyed my entire YouTube algorithm.
Oh no!
The chat is being a bunch of dirty birdies. Listen, she didn't mean that. Stop with the dirty birdiness. You guys can't help it.
You have
can't
to be
say don't be a dirty. I don't know what audience you think you have by this point, Wicked, but it is not the one that you had originally when you were playing Dead by Daylight.
We all are saints, okay?
You were attracted an entire lower class of people, Wicked.
Hey, don't insult the chat. It's not
Especially
nice.
Like these people are blokes. Like,
Just said, because I said I did facials. They're like,
yeah,
you guys. You get my humor.
like these people are men. You can't be like, oh yeah, don't be dirty, men. It's like what we were put on this earth to be. It's how the human species survives.
Mark, thank you for the 5. I remember when I went to see Black Adam, I ended up going alone, and I was the only one in the theater for most of the movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one in the theater. But the first movie I ever saw alone was Resident Evil 2. I know a load of people hate the Resident Evil movies. I really like them. Resident Evil 2 is my favorite one. It's just action from start to finish. It's just literally
Resident
people
Evil
shooting.
2? Were you allowed in the theater?
What?
Isn't it like a rated R movie?
We have different rating systems over here. We don't even have R. We have PG 15, 18.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know what it was, but it wasn't an 18. And I was in college at that time anyway, so as long as it was 15, I could have gone in. So yeah, I went in and I think I saw it twice. Well, I loved that movie. And I went. That was the first movie I went on my own. Like, this is way better than going with people. There's literally no one to annoy you. You can just focus on the movie. You get like absorbed in it. It's great.
It depends on who you go with. Like, I personally prefer not talking during the movie, so then I don't miss it. I've conditioned Mark where if he needs to talk to me, we have to pause the show.
Yeah, I do that too.
Or the
if
movie.
I'm watching
Like,
something with someone,
like,
yeah.
You just made me miss this because I'm trying to concentrate on too many things.
I like
Thanks
that you.
for putting the chat summary.
My favorite thing about that is you term that I conditioned Mark like he's a dog. You're like, I Pavlov
Mark.
conditioned him, you know, I like fed him enough food and rewards and stuff. I rewound it enough times to like passive aggressively tell him. It wasn't just, you didn't say, I told Mark when you want to talk, pause the movie. No, I did this by other
trained him
methods.
to pause.
I trained him like the animal he is.
Aren't humans all animals anyway?
Well, no, there was
the chat is.
There was actually a show over here that was literally a dog trainer who took husbands and used the same tactics on the dogs she used on the husband to
No,
get
that's
them
how
to do
you're
what the wife
supposed to
said.
even like teach kids how to do things with like positive and negative feedback. So yes,
Oh no,
Mark,
yeah, that's the thing. It works.
it does
You just-
work.
you just skip past the super chat. I can answer that one.
Oh yeah,
Um,
no. Sorry. Thank you
no.
for the 5, Gabriel.
No, they're not misunderstanding or overreacting. I think one thing Americans may miss is these are not new laws. These are laws which have been in place for a long time. And I think most Brits should have understood the situation they were in before. But the issue is now what has happened is things have hit a level where things kicked off. And so you have a load of people who had no idea what the situation was, now being enlightened into where they live. And so it's kind of a wake-up call for a lot of people, but it probably shouldn't have been if you're actually keeping up with things.
There you go. Thank you, Gabriel. Black Cane for 2. Concrete Jungle. What Dream Tomato? What's that
Concrete
from?
Jungle, Wet Dream Tomato.
I actually,
What's that
the thing is,
from?
I don't know what the original lyrics are because I saw those things and they went, listen to what she says, and I
New
don't know
York,
what the official things are.
Alicia Keys.
It's
Let
Concrete
me
Jungle
see.
where dreams are made of.
Because when it was played on FNT, the only thing I heard was those lyrics. So I don't even blame her for getting them wrong.
Well, it's like that one Taylor Swift song where it sounds like she's saying Starbucks lover, but it's Star Cross lover or something like that.
There's loads of misheard lyrics. That'd probably be a fun topic, actually. Like general misheard lyrics.
Yeah.
I can't not hear that now. Thank you, Ryan, for showing us that video.
No, but I don't know.
Never seen it.
It's not my kind of music, so I don't know what the original lyrics was meant to be.
Jason, thank you for the 5. Like 6 months ago, Bob Iger said that they had some current projects to get through before they switched to quality over quantity. So
Okay,
I gotta give
He's
you the
been
crap.
saying that for a while now. They said they were going to concentrate on quality over quantity, but they were still releasing the same amount of stuff, either the
yeah.
last or the last call.
Disney have been saying literally that entire thing for years at this point. And the thing is, people generally misunderstand what that means. Just because you decrease the quantity doesn't mean the quality goes up. And just because you increase the quantity doesn't mean the quality goes down. The only time that that's inevitable is if you run out of quality people, in which case you have to hire lower quality people in order to keep the
machine
get the
going.
content out. America has like what 350 million people or something. Disney couldn't hire that many people. They couldn't hire that many quality people. These are not people which are in slim supply, especially as Disney is so big they could hire people from around the world. So if Disney at any point hires an incompetent person, they've done so because they weren't hired off merit. And so quantity has never been their problem. It has literally been the ideology behind their creations themselves.
And that's why I don't like
Yes.
when you apply for a job. And I've seen this on a lot of resumes or not resumes, but just like the intake form where they ask for all this demographic stuff. And you're like,
Yes.
why does this matter?
Yep. And one of the things that used to happen over here was they would say, this bears no, literally, like, it has no impact on the hiring process. I don't believe them anymore.
No, absolutely
And
not.
now it's even gone so far where in the hiring process itself, in the job application, they just freely say it does impact the hiring process. So
Yeah. They're being racist in the job posting.
yes.
Oh, goodness.
So sad.
John Thomas, thank you for the 5. No, I read and enjoyed books by authors whose views I disagree with, but the over-the-top Kirk Cameron movie pretty much sucked.
Okay, yeah, I know where you're going with that. There are times where you can...
Oh, sorry, you were sharing.
Yeah, oh yeah, this was just whatever you wanted. There are times where you can enjoy a movie with morals that you disagree with, right? So, sort of Starship Troopers. Starship Troopers isn't really a world that I would want to be in. But at the same time, I really, really enjoy the movie itself. Yet, there are parts of the morality of that movie that I do agree with. So it's not like the institution I agree with, but the story of the heroes. And I think even Marx retweeted this at some point, where it is like a coming of age of men is realizing which woman in that movie you should be going with. The kind of the child in you wants the original one he's with, but then the adult realizes that you should be with the one at the end, where she's literally dying and she says, "It's okay because I got to have you." She is the one that was wife material. So there are times where you can enjoy the action movie, but the morals of the heroes are kind of distinct from the environment of the world. So you kind of still agree with the message, but not that. There's also a difference between what Hollywood is doing now is pushing morals that they agree with. And you can have like pushing morals that they agree with, pushing morals that you agree with, and pushing morals that no one agrees with. And I think either of the last two are fine. But if you think the writer is pushing morals that they agree with that you don't, which is what's happening now, then that's horrific.
All right, what are these?
These are all that, like, there is 55 of these. Does anyone know
Let's do a
NSYNC?
couple.
Like,
It's
gonna be me. And it's like Justin Timberlake is singing "It's Gonna Be May" rather than "It's Gonna Be Me." I prefer. I remember this one, Dancing Queen. Feel the beat of the tangerine. Instead of "Feel the beat of the tambourine." We built
this city on rock.
I hate the Hollywood Reporter because you can't highlight anything. So we built this city. We built this city on sausage rolls. What?
Instead of rock and roll.
I've never heard that one. I've got to be honest.
Nah, me neither.
I never heard that one either.
I want to hold your hand. Change to "I want to hold your ham." I don't know the
what I
people
tell
love
Mark.
to comment. Does anyone know Bon Jovi? "Living on a Prayer." It doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. Changed into "It doesn't make a difference if we're naked or not."
That's also what I tell Mark. Huh?
Well, you'd think it'd
I'm
matter
kidding.
then, right?
Yeah.
Oh no! This is my favorite misheard lyric of all time. Right? "My heart will go on" changes into "the hot dogs go on."
No.
I believe the hot dogs go on. Have you never heard that?
No.
Oh,
No, I never
Oh
heard
my
that
God.
one.
I
No.
need to play you the song. You will not be able to hear it. "The hot dogs go on" is
I
literally
will
the
have
lyrics.
to, yeah.
"You're the one that I want" changes to "I got heels, they're made of plywood."
I never heard that one.
"I got chills, Look, I'm sorry. If you think that turns into that, you are clinically insane.
Yeah, they might not know English.
Queen,
I
Bohemian
remember,
Rhapsody.
So you guys won't know this. 'Cause I know you don't listen to rap, but I remember like actually listening on the radio. Well, actually, I might know it. It was.
Spare him.
Go ahead, do this one first.
"Spare him his life of monstrosity" turns to "saving his life from warm sausage tea."
It was a Nelly song, and there's a lyric where he goes, "Something but my mic's still on," and I remember listening live on the radio station where some girl's like, "Who's Mike Stallone?" And she's like, the jockey, whatever. She's like, what? She's like, in the song. She's like, "No, they're saying my mic's still on." And the girl's like, "Oh." Yeah. Let's get some more of these super chats. Justin Martin, thank you for the 10. "I used to detail cars in high school for a dealership. Always got in trouble for spending too much time on the crappy trade-ins. So much more satisfying to clean those rather than new cars." Oh, that does sound fun. Like it's a nice project and it keeps you busy and you just get, sucked into doing it.
How willing are you to risk possibly a copyright?
Because
What do
I
you wanna
have one
play?
too. I have one too ready.
Well, this is a Celine Dion, right? I've got it to the exact second, but it's probably
Okay.
going to be about 3 seconds, right? So this is "I believe that the."
Okay, yeah, I can see it.
I can see it now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hang
Yeah.
on.
I mean, if we
Hot
had
It's all I ever hear. It is just that "I believe that the hot dogs go on."
Okay. Can I share mine? So you know
Good.
the Mariah Carey song "Can't Live Without You"? I can't live. Okay, so this woman in I forgot which idol it was, but she doesn't know the lyrics. So I'm just gonna play like 5 seconds. So this is the chorus.
Oh, I do this. No,
Never do
honest-
without you.
yeah.
Don't leave it do
It's
without
like-
you.
You'll
Good
know the
one.
words for maybe like 70% of it, but the rest of the thing is just blah 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 blah. It's like, I do that all the time.
And I'm gonna just pan, just like this is what she literally sings.
Yeah, this probably won't get in comic book because it's just nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh my god. This is like a different, like, is this American Idol but not American Idol, you know? Like
It's not American Idol, no.
it's something Idol.
To leave it without you.
Apparently, Selena Gomez, who I've got to be honest, I have no idea who she is, sung a song called Good For You, where some listeners have heard I'm farting carrots,
Oh my god.
rather than I'm 14 carat.
Oh my god.
Oh!
I don't know the song.
Yeah, I can see that. I
I don't know the song.
It's funny.
All of these just make me want to look up. It's a shame
You gotta
that
look 'em all
the
up
Hollywood
now.
Reporter didn't put the actual song at that time so you can just play the clip. See, they didn't put the effort in.
Yeah.
Nope. Lazy. Deranged lunatic. Thank you for being a member for 7 months. I like to watch videos where they take neglected and overgrown properties and transform them and make them look beautiful again. Oh yeah, I'd love that.
Yeah,
used to watch,
I like to watch wife
shows like
makeover
that.
videos as well.
Yeah. Wait, no, you don't.
There used to be a TV show called The Swan where they literally got like
I
a
remember
makeover with surgery and all this to make them look beautiful. And then they did a pageant. I liked it.
I one thing that I've grown to despise, especially as I've got older actually, and you see more people do it, is the entire idea of surgery as kind of an improvement at all. You always find the women that just grew like old, like gracefully, as they used to call it, end up looking way better than all these people with fillers. Have you seen all those videos where it's like all the women with fillers and stuff, and they're like 20, but they look like 45?
Oh my god! Well, like
Yeah.
the star. What's her face?
Starlight from
Starlight.
The Boys.
Oh yeah, that buckle fat. I think that should be banned. Like that just makes
Yeah.
everybody worse.
It's just
Yeah.
you're gaunt, and then you look
Yes,
like a skeleton.
because it's meant to show cheekbones, but yeah, when you're younger, because I think this is the issue. It used to be done when you were older to make you look better. Now it's done younger as like a preventative thing. So yeah, there are gonna be some young people with like chubby cheeks, but that actually makes you look younger
yeah.
for
That's
longer.
the point. You're supposed
Yes.
to look like that. Yeah.
There's a Melanie Mac video where people are like, how do you look so young? And she's like, fat face genetics. And it's literally because she said I've got chubby cheeks. And it's like, if you suck that out, well, now you look 50 when you're 25. So
Yeah.
Mhm. But they think they look young. I think it's a thing where when you're in
I think it's
that
body
world,
dysmorphia.
yeah, when you're in that world and you see it all the time, because a lot of people in California probably do look like that. You just
Probably
want to transform.
Yeah.
I used to hang out with like 4 girls. All of them had breast implants, and I'm thinking, God, I feel so small. Maybe I want to, and so I can see why that affects them.
The interesting
especially
thing
in
about that
Hollywood.
is, and I think you saw it with like the Rings of Power footage. The recent marketing they did, the Galadriel actress, she wore a top that, yes, she definitely needed to fill it out. And that's probably a lot of pressure to, like, if you want to wear that kind of dress, to just get implants and stuff. I think the issue is, yeah, it looks great when you're in a dress. The moment you take the dress off, it looks awful. So it kind of comes down to, do you want to look good for society or your husband when it comes to that kind of thing?
Yep. Here, let me. Sorry, no, I agree. Tatsu, thank you for the Swiss 10. Good show, ladies. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
got a
The
little bit of
Swiss
my trailer.
francs. I have to remember
Yeah.
which one CHF is.
CHF. I know it's kind of a misnomer.
Well, I've been to Switzerland, but I can't remember. It was a long time ago.
They still use no, they don't use euros.
Yeah, they
there.
don't use the euro. No, I went over there after the euro was in. It was interesting though, because they said the place where I stayed, they said they were close enough to the French border that people would come across the border, rob houses, and then go across. So they actually had like a security bar against the. I'd never seen this before, right?
Really?
It was just a solid bar, like a metal bar across the entire door that they just kind of cranked down, and it just sealed across the entire frame so that no one could open the door. Rather than like just a lock or something that we'd have. This was literally like reinforced across the entire entranceway. It was cool.
Yeah. Because, well, we learned when we were kind of renovating
Ironically,
that
Carlos.
you
I
want
let him
to, when you put a lock in the nails, we actually bought longer nails so that you couldn't just break the door as easily. Because when you install that door, it comes with these teensy little nails. You're like, that's gonna,
Yeah,
I'll protect your house.
not gonna work. Thank you,
been
Carlos.
It's been really interesting how over a relatively short space of time, countries have gone from being high trust societies where people wouldn't lock their doors at all in like my parents' generation, to now me going, yeah, maybe this metal bar that seals the entire entranceway to the house is a good idea.
It's the few that take advantage of other people's success that ruins it. Like, look at California. People don't even lock their cars anymore or leave any stuff.
Yeah, if you want to say it's the few, yeah.
Or many. I don't know. It depends on which countries and which cities.
Yeah.
Old Renaissance humor for 5. I watched stuff like, did you mean F&T? I think you meant F&T. Tuesday's main event. All you guys
FNQ.
Racing. Oh, what's FNQ?
What's FNQ?
Friday night,
Question?
like queer.
Oh, okay. I never heard of that before. Okay. Suddenly I
My
start getting
favorite
all
one about
this...
TNME is every time I just think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I know, me
like
too.
every time.
I do too. I start getting all this Asian girl camping in the rain thunderstorms. What the WTA?
Hey, look, I mean
it's
never
girl's
complain
fault.
when God smiles upon you.
John Thomas for 20. Thank you. Starship Troopers is a bad example. This is a terrible adaptation. The director hated Henling and was satirizing him. The book is not a fascist, overly
Nor is the
military
movie.
dictatorship, but a liberal society with a limited franchise.
I agree with your entire super chat, but I also disagree. I think it's a great example because it's a terrible adaptation. This was a case where the director made a movie that he didn't understand, right? So you can end up with, and I hate using the word art for movies, but you can end up with art where they made something they didn't understand, and Starship Troopers is one of them. He didn't really read the book, so he had no idea what the law was. He tried to make something that had a specific like political intention and failed. What he ended up even in the movie is essentially like a libertarian society. Nobody is forced to join the military like they would be under a fascist one. And so what you've ended up with is people since then desperately trying to reinterpret the movie because they want it to say something, but it doesn't. And that's what I find most interesting about it. It's why you will constantly find people who go, what was it? The Buenos Aires meteor attack was actually a false flag. It isn't. If you watch the movie, it clearly isn't. But they will desperately try and say it is because that's how they can twist the movie to be their own message. So I think it's a good... I understand what you mean, and I agree with all of it. But just because a director intends something doesn't mean that's actually what he ended up creating.
Accidentally was good in a different way.
Oh, Starship Troopers is one of my favorite movies. There was actually a video I was making where I looked up one clip and I ended up just watching the rest of the movie. Like, accidentally, because it was that good.
Black Cane for 5. Robert Henlon was based and basically said that Star Troopers world would be the inevitable response to the world going too liberal.
Yes. The current problem with the world is that everything is based off essentially effeminate ideas around equality rather than hierarchy. That is the fundamental issue of everything. And if you dismantle the idea of equality, everything else crumbles. The moment that you realize, and it literally takes 2 seconds as a thinking human being, that people are not the same, literally everything else falls apart. But again, the director didn't understand what he was making. And so he made an accidentally amazing movie. Which, again, some people think Barbie did the same thing. I just think with Barbie, they did make the movie they were intending to make. But they have
it was
an
just
opposite...
taken a different way.
Well, yeah, they have an opposite moral compass than you. So although both sides agree on the message of Barbie, one side thinks that message is good and one side thinks that message is evil. Whereas in Starship Troopers, they made a movie that says the entire opposite thing than they intended.
Spiderfinger for $4.99. Disparu, if you want to laugh way too hard, look up Fortuna salsa cookies, bad lyric translation. He's ready. He's like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Let's go.
Dave Chandler, thank you for the 5. Don't do surgical modification, ladies. We prefer you in your natural state. The enhancement look good at first glance, but the flaws will emerge. Yeah, you see that with like the younger Kardashian girls that got stuff done, like Kylie, I couldn't think of her name.
Well, they tried to take some of it away.
Yeah, and you can see like there's more like age lines, and I think she's still in her 20s, maybe early 30s, but I'm pretty sure still 20s. I don't know.
And they get vampire facials too, which is actually pretty effective. Yeah, they can.
Mark of reality for 5. Starship Troopers required military service in order to be able to vote and run for office.
Based. Yes. No, look, everybody shouldn't vote, right? I think we can all agree on this. Nobody's thought about it. For some reason, people think that everybody should be able... Have you met most people? Most people have no idea what they're talking about. Most people don't have the IQ to use a spoon without injuring themselves. I don't think most people think everybody should vote. Like, at most, even if you want the widest possible thing of democracy, it should at least be, like, net taxpayers. Because you probably shouldn't be able to vote yourself other people's money. And all they did is go, okay, if you want the right to actually say who your leader should be, literally the single most important thing that you can have for your entire nation, right? Maybe you should actually have done something worthwhile to the rest of society in order to actually impact the rest of society. There is nothing wrong with requesting, and it wasn't just military service, it was military service or something else. So if you served in like a hospital, if you were a midwife, then you'd be able to vote. It just meant that you had to contribute something, rather than basically being a leech to the rest of society and thinking you have everything afterwards. No, this is one of the entire things, like everyone isn't equal. People to Sorry. This is why I should probably stream on my own channel.
Wait, what?
He just was like going off on his rant. It's okay.
No, go on. I was like, what happened?
I realized nobody else in the stream cared about what I was talking about, which is why I was just like,
I'm listening.
Yeah. Now go on.
Because I was thinking, I'm like, the only time, like, I think for sure, like, you should be part, a voter is if you pay tax money from your job. The people who
I think that's a minimum, but I would
at least because if it's pushing towards the if you're going to spend my money, I want to dictate how you spend my money at the very least.
Somebody shouldn't be able to vote themselves other people's money.
Yes.
Because otherwise, your country ends up bankrupt, and that is inevitable, because everybody else just wants free stuff. So therefore, you have to be a net contributor to the system in order to actually talk about how the system should even be run in the first place. That is literally the base minimum. And then you get down to, well, maybe you should actually contribute to stuff, because then you're like, well, should YouTubers vote? Like, really? Like, why, right? Because they may be taxpayers, but they also may just, like, keep fish in a room. What does that actually teach them about governance, right? Do they know anything? Do they even know who they're voting for? Do they have any idea about how to run a nation in the first place? The issue, and I know this is going to be a really big issue for Americans, is the issue you come down to is what you really want to run a country is somebody that's actually basically raised from birth to do it. They have all the knowledge, all the training, all the education to actually lead. And then you come back to the monarchy question of, well, you should probably just have a hereditary system where you know who it's going to be and they're just raised from birth to be that. And so I think that's probably the inevitable solution. Either way, for anyone that hasn't grasped this yet, who may be American, I have a lot of beliefs that is very anti the American idea of freedom. Because I don't think freedom is even a good thing in the first place. Because what freedom allows you to do is freedom allows you to do anything. But you actually shouldn't do anything. There are things that are bad for you. And there are things which are bad for the nation. There are things that are bad for society. And there's actually some things that you should do as a basic thing to actually advance yourself, advance society, advance the human race as a whole thing. Things like having children. And so maybe there should be restrictions on that. maybe just being able to just sit in a room and be a degenerate your entire life actually is a bad thing. Maybe that hurts you. Maybe the impossibility of doing that in the first place is a bad thing. Maybe something should stop you from actually being negative to yourself. Maybe, and the thing is with Americans, they're like, oh, mother states. No. Maybe society as a whole, like the social pressure, should strongly, significantly encourage you to actually go down the correct path in life that will be more fulfilling and beneficial to you in the long term. And I think that stories used to tell us this, and I think that I think that is actually the point of stories. That because if you go back to and again, this is I go on like long things because everything needs to be explained.
It's all good.
But everything goes back to basically evolution, and so all of this evolved to act a certain way, and if you act how you were supposed to evolve, you will be more satisfied and more happy than anything else. Modernity is the worst thing that you can be in because it's anti-evolution, it's anti-humanity. And so the more you go into modernity, the further you go from what you were supposed to be. And the very idea that you're just an individual that doesn't matter, that you can do whatever you want and that you should, I think is horrific. You were born in a place, you were tied to a society, you should do a certain thing, you should have a wife, you should have kids, you should be bonded into that little local group. And that's not what we have anymore. And I think losing that message has not only harmed society and the country, but has harmed the individuals within it. I think freedom and the desire for it is actually evil. And I think there are some restrictions that, while shouldn't be forced, because, again, you should be able to do whatever you want within your own home, I think that there is a beneficial thing to try and strongly encourage people to go down the correct path. And so you get movies like Starship Troopers, and you can argue that, oh, well, I don't like the political system. Yeah, but the message of the movie was good. The message taught you the kind of woman that you should be going for. And it doesn't matter whether that was intentional or not, it was still the correct message. Whereas, if you listen to Barbie, you will literally destroy your life. And so people are like, well, should I ban Barbie? I'd be like, well, banning Barbie would actually be great for society. I'm not against banning particularly evil. I think if you follow the ideology of Acolyte, you will come across a horrible, evil person. And so yeah. I mean, this is why I'm like, other people aren't interested in stuff, but I've reached a position where I think if you really want to accurately review why entertainment sucks now, I think you have to think about this kind of stuff.
Well, it's all affected everything, right? It's all interconnected, and I never thought it was before, but it ever so has with the with COVID, realistically, because now a lot of things are political, and it seems that two things where you never thought were connected are actually connected. And I mean, who knows? Was it actually COVID? It probably was like that the entire time, and that just brought it to the light.
Well, yeah, and there was during the UK, I don't know the word to use on this place. During the UK, where we agree on a new leader, shall we say? There was actually a Dankula comment where, and he was joking at the time, but he says, "Yeah, you'll call me that, but you'll never say I'm wrong." And that's the interesting thing about modern society, is that people have actually kind of eradicated the correct position. They've literally been like, you can be in the correct position about everything, and you can still not be allowed in society. And this is why I like Basecamp, right? Because although I don't agree with everything Basecamp says, it's the fact that they will say anything, regardless of kind of the social, like whether it's accepted or not. If they think it's correct, if they think the data leads a certain way, they will say it. And I think that's how you end up with the truth. And that's what society has lost.
Mm-hmm. Swankle has a suggestion. Maybe you need a politics and culture specific channel. Actually, you might get arrested.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Yeah,
especially in the current place where I am.
Not in America.
Just
gonna throw that out there.
Yeah, but I can't get into it. Well, I can't get into it.
If you were here, you wouldn't get arrested for it, because.
But the thing is, I can't get into America. Like American, like I've spoken about it before, right? The whole American system and everything is It's like, yeah, well, okay, we'll give you this thing for 2 years. If I go to a place, I don't want to be there for 2 years and then have to kind of request
Move again
to be in the country for another 2 years. Yeah, it's like, because you have to buy a house and stuff, and it's like, well, you can't put down roots if you're always wondering, will I be here in a year? Like, so,
I mean, that's fair.
Ian says you won't get arrested for it here either. They just want you to think you will.
There is a thing of they just can't arrest everybody. Yeah, there is. I can't remember who it was. I think it was sort of account said. There's ways of talking about things. You just have to not trigger certain tripwires. And I think that the recent things have been more people actually being surprised by where the country was. But I already knew this is where the country was. People are just catching up to my opinion of the country. So, like, I've been acting. I've been saying the same thing for a while.
Agreed. All right, Darth Racer, thank you for the $2. Only property owners should vote.
At a minimum, yeah. The thing is, you have to have something invested in the country. One thing I've been thinking about is probably not just property owners, but property owners that have children. Because I think children change your... And I don't have children, right? So I'm not even talking about me.
Adam Krigler says that he's not, like, he has a baby cooking, and he says he's already seen the world differently through a father's eyes, so...
And the thing is, you hear everybody say this. This is like a universal thing. Because what happens, right? If you don't have kids, you're the most important thing in your life. If you have kids, they're the most important thing in your life. And they will live longer than you. And when I've spoken to the older generation, what you end up with is a load of people saying things like, well, you know, I'll be dead by then. So they don't care. This is very boomer attitude of, I just want the system to last for my life. But when you have kids, what you're supposed to think of is their life. You're supposed to leave a better world than you found it. Now, this is a very Japanese attitude. It's not a very Western attitude anymore, but I think kids at least encourage that more. And this is why, one of the reasons that I like sort of Japanese and Korean entertainment, it's not just because it's good entertainment, it's because it's good, like, it's moral entertainment. It aligns more with what I think of the world, and that's why I like the entertainment more. And I think they have a better vision for the world. Now, the fact that Japan's birth rate is going through the floor is a different issue, but I also think that's solvable. Nobody's willing to do that either.
He's so confused.
You're not ready. You're not ready for that answer. Okay. No, the thing is, if I don't say it, people will think something else. What you've found out, and you can look at anything else in the world. The more people focus on the career, the less kids they have when you're a woman.
Yeah.
And that's the difficult thing. It's like, what do you want? The survival of the human species, or do you want a career? You're gonna have to pick.
Red Queen Paradox, thank you for the I almost said the Swiss, New Zealand 10. It wasn't contribute. You had to put yourself in danger. The minimum was that you were willing to sacrifice for the greater good. If you were willing to test new drugs, you could vote, even if low IQ.
Yeah, you had to contribute in some way. But there was some people in Starship Troopers who contributed without military service. Like, if you were in a hospital and a doctor, you would be able to vote because you were contributing. It was service guarantees citizenship. And you had to be a citizen to vote.
So as an X-ray tech, does that count as service?
Medical field?
Under their system, probably. No, I'm not saying that this is the system I want, right? I'm just saying that this is the system that Starship Troopers had.
Because I only watched the first, the movie, and then played the game.
1 and 3 are the better ones. 1 is by far the best. 3 isn't good, but it's far better than 2. 2 is one of the worst movies ever made.
Okay,
2 tried to imitate The Thing.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
But yeah, it was like service. It's like if a war happens, not all people fight on the front lines. Some people are medics, you know? Mm-hmm. Some people just stay in the hospital.
Well, let's just say medics actually, like field medics, they're doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but field medics will go with the units, right? Like, say...
I won't be in the field.
No, but not. I was going to say not to particularly point him out, but just because it's a good example. Like if there was a war, Mark wouldn't be on the front line, but he might be in a hospital because he's a medic, but he also couldn't keep up with the people in the front line. So like that would still count as service. Even the guy in Starship Troopers, where he doesn't have a leg, but he's like just doing the academic stuff of chatting people, that's still service. You're still you're just doing something that isn't for your own profit. Whereas you take what is it, Rico's parents? They're kind of just profiteering off their own things. I don't think they'd be able to vote either, even though they're really rich. But it was far more libertarian than it was anything else, which is an entirely different question. So I don't support either.
Earn the right to vote.
Exactly. Darth Racer. Oh, this per Q. Go ahead.
Well, it's just like if you want an input on the future of your country, you should have some investment in the future of your country. Like, if I went to America, I shouldn't be able to vote because I could leave America at any time and go back to here. So why should I vote? It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Something I absolutely agreed with, like, especially from like back when I was in school, surprisingly, we were talking about the people who were on getting money from the government just because they couldn't work or disability. Well, not disability specifically. I'm thinking like just couldn't work and get a job. I'm like, why don't they drug test these people? Because they're literally getting their checks and doing drugs with that government money.
Because if you value freedom, then you have literally no moral answer for why they shouldn't.
So that was just one of the things that, like, back in the day, and now it's come almost like super apparent in life now.
I tell you, freedom and equality are the two values which literally destroyed all of modern society.
There you go.
Darth Racer, thank you. What?
Sorry, can we read this first?
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
No, is he the one that like posted about his mother like attracting me liking me earlier? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I only got the joke after I realized what the super chat was.
I'm so sorry, Mark.
That's okay. It was Darth Racer.
No,
Darth Racer. I mean,
the thing is, my views wouldn't be so controversial outside of America. The reason is, YouTube has a massive American platform, and like the majority of my audience is American, and Americans have a different view of the world. So you even talk about like freedom, and you might as well set up a nuclear bomb. It's the way it works.
Darth Racer, thank you for the 5. The founders got it right. With freedom comes responsibility. Without it, you have chaos. Yeah.
Well, the American Constitution was built on, like, literally, word for word, it was taken from old British laws and old British books. Like, literally, word for word taken. They just took the best bits of their country that they came from and put it into a constitution, which is a great thing to do. But you have to maintain the original British ideals that came with it, and Britain isn't... It's not a pro-freedom country.
They first take the U's, and now we get this.
Yeah, you started driving on the other side of the road and everything got destroyed. Yeah, you kept your freedom of speech, but at what cost?
Chris Nicholson for 5. I don't think it's a coincidence that the rise in democracy immediately followed the invention of the printing press.
Oh. That's a good point. I've never thought about that before, actually.
Very good point.
It is like the mass media. Well, the mass media to the masses. Yeah. It was the ability,
Swinkle.
The ability to spread the same message to everybody. Because before, everyone would just make their own independent decision. They'd be on their farm. Have I made more money or not this year? The printing press allowed everybody to read the same message at all times.
And then the internet really made it that.
Well, that is why everything's accelerated over like the last 30 years, yeah.
Interesting.
Arc of Reality, thank you for the 10. In the U.S., the state were more determinative of voting rights. Women got the right to vote in Wyoming in 1869, but the 19th Amendment wasn't passed until 1920.
Yeah, so you're saying they made a mistake before?
I knew he was going to say something like that.
Wow.
Edgar Friendly for 15.
I'm just going off data.
Only valid if
I'm using the base camp.
Only valid if you use this money to buy the Starship Troopers book and read it. Is it $15?
No, it's true. I've never read the book. I've only watched the movie. I have read about. I've probably read as much of the book as the director did, which is nothing. But no, it is one of the cases that I really like the movie, but I also know that it's not the book at all. There's been a few things like that, though.
Jason, thank you for the Australian 5. In Japan and South Korea, there's a very deep respect for nature, social order, and tradition, yet they warmly embrace technological advancement.
Yes, they're different problems. The problem in Korea is just basic feminism. The problem in Japan is they're too polite for their own good. So the men in Japan literally won't like approach the women because they're too polite. Whereas in Korea, they've got our problem, but decades ago.
John Thomas, thank you for the 5. Disro is using the leftist perverted definition of equality. Equality before the law, not equity.
The issue is you think there's a difference, and when it comes to words, right? Okay, so the way language works, if we're gonna have to go through this lesson, language only matters in the fact that the word that you use is designed to transmit what's in your head to other people. But if you use a word that everybody else thinks is a different definition, it doesn't matter what you think that word means. Everyone else thinks it's a different thing. One thing that has been very well done in a long time is they take a word, they redefine the word, and everybody else agrees on language. And you're still using the original terminology. It doesn't matter. Nobody else is. And so you may think the word means this way, but if everybody else disagrees with you, they've already changed the definition. And I also actually disagree with it. Equality meant equality under the law. Does it really matter? Equal means equal. Equal means the same. And so if you're not the same, you should be treated differently. And one of the issues that you've had is equality was used as part of the method to switch from masculine morality, which was based around hierarchy and merit, to feminine morality, which was equality and everyone's the same. That works great in a family, in a home. It doesn't work great if you expand it past the home. And I remember Jordan Peterson, actually, he was talking to a feminist, and he said, what happens if society finds out that the female morality doesn't expand past the home? And the woman he was asking, she gave this really complex, she gave this answer, and he just kind of admitted it. But I actually, she didn't answer it in any way, shape, or form. And I think that's what we're finding out. It is that some moralities don't work at scale. They don't work at country. Everything, literally everything is hierarchy. You can look at the Olympics. Are you the same as them? Because they're not the same as each other. No one is the same. And you can, what you mean when you say equality under law, you mean fair. And you can be treated fairly, but you're not the same. And I look at my country, I look at the videos that are coming out, and I'm like, I am not the same as these other people. And that is why periodically on Twitter, I'll just see a video of somebody, and I'll say, I am not the same as this. I'm not equal to this. Because I don't think I'm equal to anybody. The only thing that happens is you should be treated justly for your actions. And that is fair.
We took a swig right after that. He finished the rant. Big swig. Sorry. Dave Chandler, thank you for the 5.
I can stop. Look, I said a long time ago. Well, no, I said a long time. This is why I shouldn't get onto these topics with like other channels.
Just I you, Disbrew. Don't worry about it.
It's okay. Yeah,
fine.
No, because I don't think anyone else cares. I think that's the problem.
They're listening. They cared.
People are listening. We're listening.
Yeah, we listened. Dave Chandler, thank you for the 5. The problem is people have no perspective on what makes life hard versus what makes it easy. A hard day for us is paradise for people 200 years ago. Yeah.
True.
Oh, it's very different.
God.
I mean, working, like back in the day, it was all physical labor. men did hardcore physical labor. Now, I mean, they could have a rough day at the office on the computer. And I'm not downing that. Of course, that's legit for us now. But 200 years ago, a man would love to be sitting in a chair versus lifting heavy lumber, whatever,
And like things like cars, the fact that we don't have to walk, as my parents said, hours, go early across a river and all this, and then walk that back. We didn't have to go far to get water. We didn't have to go far to get food. Our food lasts weeks in the fridge. Food usually spoils within a few days back, before all this invention. So when I go on my like crazy hikes, it kind of semi-simulates what it would have probably been like back in the day without the technology.
Every day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know X-Wing makes swords. He's a blacksmith, so I know.
Is he?
Yeah.
I don't actually know he was a
Actually,
blacksmith. Like, blacksmith was really labor intensive.
He's making swords for their book. For the pirate book that's coming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, X-Wing just got like 10 times more cooler in my no, I didn't know. Like blacksmith is one of like your traditional kind of jobs. It is really manual, really intensive. Even when you use like you can industrialize it, but it's incredibly expensive. You go back to molds and stuff rather than just hitting things with a hammer. And you do get back to like hitting things with a hammer is just based.
Yeah.
X-Wing is now based in disproven.
Yeah.
Well, no, if he literally makes swords by just melting metal and then hitting them with a hammer really hard, that is cool.
It's pretty cool. Now, and yeah, guys, I'm not saying hard labor doesn't exist. We're not saying that at all. I'm just saying more people were doing hard labor. Cooking a meal was a lot more labor intensive back in the day.
Yeah.
That's why you end up with streamers going, I have the hardest job than anyone working a real job. You had the guy recently, it was like, I flew to Japan for 14 hours, and it was so tough. Way harder than, because he just looked at the time, it's like, yeah, but you spent 12 hours of that in first class on a plane. Like, you spent it getting pissed and getting fed. Like, that's not difficult.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I like traveling to like different places and seeing how people live because my family in Vietnam, some people didn't even have proper toilets. Like it's an ash toilet and we take all these little things for granted. And then you get people complaining on TikTok, oh my God, I just had like a 6-hour shift at Starbucks and it's like the hardest thing in the world. Dude, really?
So did your parents come from Vietnam, like natively?
Yes. Separately, because they were kids when they came.
Yeah.
My mom was a kid. My dad was a little older in like high school.
The reason I asked because there was a top there was a Top Gear episode where they went to Vietnam and they did like the whole kind of car driving through Vietnam thing. That they met at a place where it was like manual tailored suits. It was incredibly cheap and things. But I think the most interesting part of the episode is where they met a beach. They were just at a beach. And this local came across to them, and he kind of started drawing things in the sand. And it was like a poignant part of the episode where he was drawing like bombers and stuff and like people dying and things in the sand. And they were like, oh, so what do you mean? And he was basically telling them Americans came, or like foreigners came to our country. They bombed us. This is our beach. And it's a really kind of intimate moment of what is essentially a comedy show in what was Top Gear at the time. But it was kind of cool because they kind of like, oh, okay, we understand what you mean. And they could just kind of left, and they left him to his beach and stuff. But I don't think that's what most kind of foreigners think when they travel the world. They don't really realize like the footprints that they've left in the world in the past. They just kind of have the modernity thing.
It's self-reflection. It's self-reflection. And hey, that's why I think a lot of Americans, the way they travel, they put their own culture on other cultures when they visit. And a lot of people don't like, or some countries don't like Americans when they visit.
Americans are really loud and really confident.
Mhm.
That doesn't fit into
Sure
many
are.
cultures.
No.
Jason, thank you for another Australian too. I'm going to. Do you pronounce that Seoul?
Yes, Soul.
Yes.
Seoul. Okay, South Korea early next month. Nice. I hope you have a good time.
Yeah, I'm jealous. Always want to go to South Korea.
One day.
Mark of reality for 2. X-Wing and Shad Brooks should do oh my god, collaboration stream.
Only if
they-
X-Wing is making a sword for Shad as
Oh my
they're
god, it'd be
streaming.
so
I want to
cool.
see him like
Cool.
literally hammering the sword for Shad as it happens.
That would be awesome. They did do a stream together on History of Pirates. I was on that one, and that was the most quiet I've ever been. Everyone was like, "You're like X-Ray on F&T." I'm like, I had nothing to bring to the conversation though. They were talking about medieval pirate swords, and also they got into medieval stuff as well. But yeah, that would be really cool to see X-Wing make him a sword. That would be awesome.
Maybe
But
one
yeah,
day.
it's on. Check out History of Pirates. We do podcasts over there. Me, X-Wing, and Jay, Drunk 3PO, Capable Gent, and King's Advisor. Just a little plug there for the pirate podcast, which I think we are actually having one. We haven't had one in like a month because everyone's been so busy. I think Monday we have one. So, Red Queen Paradox, New Zealand 10. Disprove how much to get you to read Starship Troopers. It has a sound ethical system, and the mobile infantry use mechs. You'd love it. The film is funnier once you realize how ridiculous it is.
I wouldn't need to be paid to write. I don't even think it's a long book. I wouldn't need to be paid to like read it. I just never have. But it's not because I don't think it's. I've heard it's a good book and stuff. It's always been the funniest thing is that the director never read the movie.
That's a good idea.
The director never read the book, despite how short it is. And so he made something about his own interpretation more than anything the book was about. And so it's never really been like, to interpret the movie, you need to read the book, because the director didn't. You know what I mean? Yeah, happy to read Starship
The one
Troopers.
time it kind of worked out, not reading the source material.
Yeah, well, again, I think it's like Barbie. I think it's literally a case of he just made something he didn't know he made. He was too honest, is the problem.
You pronounce this fa, right?
Pho.
Fa, or fa. I
Or
think
you can
people
do
say
it like the
different-
Americans do, faux. It's
Faux.
fine.
I would say
Um,
faux, but I don't know what we're talking about.
It's
top 5. The
noodle
rice
dish.
with the chicken and stuff. Or, wait, no, that's not the rice.
No,
that's the
it's a
noodle
rice
bowl.
noodles.
Okay. I have to try that. I've had Vietnamese rice and it's delicious. It's just rice filled with chicken and vegetable. Oh, so good. I
How
asked
do you
them
even
to make
change
it.
rice?
You can make it
It's
tasty.
just like- No, but that's just adding stuff to it.
No,
It's like
the
saying
way the Vietnamese make it, it's like very dry, and then you put like
not.
a sauce on top. And it's pretty good.
She did say feet earlier.
I did.
Oh, X-Ray did a Dan impression, which I'm
Bass,
sure
this is
got-
your my impression of you. Sorry.
Yeah. Look, there's a far better impression.
It's probably got clipped already. The other one.
Yeah,
but
there's
go
a
ahead.
far better impression earlier.
It's
When
funny
you
to see
weren't
the
here, now
chat
I'm giggling.
I'm sure it was clipped.
Oh yeah.
It's like feet wear.
Amanda, I'd like to see your feet, please.
There you go.
Most authentic Brazilian of all time.
Oh God. Anyways.
Oh no. Darth Racer, thank you for 20. We should all have an equal shot in life, but due to our differences, we'll all have different outcomes. Being equal before law was used for the 13th Amendment. Plus, ideally, poor or rich should be treated equally in court.
You will never be equal. You will never be equal to yourself yesterday, so that you can't be equal to anybody else. You will never be treated equal in court, because the judge is a person. And the judge has biases. And that
Yeah.
means he has a political opinion, which changes day to day. It is an incredible idea that all of this stuff, it's not realistic. And I think we should build a system based around what's realistic than what's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, you're right about that. There's the bias and yeah.
Well,
There's
you
no
just
way
look at your own system. Your entire system is partisan. That's
There's
what happened.
no way everything's equal. No.
The American system was built upon these ideas, and it's turned into partisanship because that's how people are. And personally, I would rather live under a system that was biased towards me than somebody else.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm listening, but I'm also reading chats too.
Oh, okay.
There's-
I'm like
there's-
waiting for you to
there's-
talk, and I'm like,
No, sorry.
Yeah,
there's a
we're like
mix.
waiting for you to
I
show
would
something
like
else.
to see. I would like to see the chat summary because it's probably
She's like,
the
I
chat
just
is
want Dan
discussing-
Vask's feet. That's all I'm after.
No, he
The
wants.
only-
He's the one that wants feet.
This entire stream is just like a long sort of
I was
net
just
just
gonna
to try
say
and
the-
get Dan
the-
Vask's feet on the stream.
The chat summary is probably they're
Wicked
talking about Dan's love for feet and also equality. Like,
Yeah.
Wicked has literally roped us into just trying to bait Dan Vask into showing
I
us
didn't
food.
do anything. I didn't do a thing. Drew, thank you for the 10. I have to dispute the loud American myth. Go into any cafe in my city and all the Americans are sitting quietly while the foreigners are talking incredibly loud to the point it chases out locals. I've seen
What-
that. It depends on what type of American. I get what Drew's saying, but I definitely understand Drew too because I'm where I'm from, Buffalo is a very diverse city, and I'll just say, yeah, I agree with Drew. There's parts of the city that are much louder.
You know what you
And
get in
it's not
American.
locals.
You know what you get in American coffee shops though? A load of people on the laptops working.
Yeah, in the coffee
You,
shop.
you,
Yeah,
you don't get that
same
over
here.
here. If
yeah.
you,
I get
over
that.
here, people have coffee to drink coffee and like talk to people. They don't work. You might find the odd person very occasionally working in a coffee. Most people don't though. It's a social thing more than anything else. That's the kind of thing that they mean. There's a different atmosphere around like Americans as a whole.
Well, the food culture, Europe versus America is very different.
Yeah,
People don't
Americans
enjoy
love
food
takeaway.
here. They love
Yeah,
takeaway, but they don't enjoy their food. Like it's not a social, well, as social as like certain places in Europe are, where they spend hours with the wine, and sometimes it's just like quick business in and out. But
Yeah, I would love. That's one of the things I can't wait for when I eventually do make it to Italy. Just sit down at a coffee shop and enjoy my espresso, and I'm gonna love it because I do like to sit down and enjoy food. I mean, we get
so
Oh,
good.
Well,
bet. I bet.
ironically, and I don't believe I'm about to say this, but in Italy, like you would like that would be where you go to enjoy espresso and just sit down and enjoy the espresso. So
That's
what?
I'm
What
all
you're-
the way there just for that.
Yeah. Well, no, you essentially need to return to your homeland. Is what I'm saying.
I'm never leaving. Duppy, thank you for the 5. Remember, you can lead humans to knowledge, but you can't make them think.
They try to.
They try their hardest.
Did they?
Well, try
mean-
to think a certain way.
Jason, what is the best travel advice you've ever received? I don't know. I haven't been out of the country besides Canada, which is very like, especially
It's
where
very
I used-
American. Very
yeah,
American
you
of
know
you.
what I mean. And to me, it doesn't feel like out of the country. That'll hopefully
Best
be changing next year.
travel.
So
I mean, the it's scary to travel the first time by yourself. Now, mind you, I didn't go to anywhere super dangerous, but it really does change how you travel around the world. And I think you should at least travel once by yourself.
I don't really know, like the best travel advice in particular that I've ever received. I mean, I've traveled around Europe. I mean, going to America was in Las Vegas was my first time going to America. The rest of the time was around Europe. But it is things like you have to realize that people aren't like you. So if you are in like a really safe place, you have to suddenly realize, oh no, people will just steal from me. Like they will mug you. They will steal your passport. Probably shouldn't go around walking around with really expensive items on you. That's a really stupid thing to do in a foreign country, even if you're safe at home. But I found myself looking more and more abroad as time goes on, like especially like Hungary and stuff. So I don't know. Actually, I think the best foreign advice you can ever learn as a person is that everybody doesn't share the same morality as you, and that means that you realize other people, they don't look at you the same, they don't think about you the same, they don't have the same limitations that you might, and that enables you to free up your worldview in that things that you thought were beyond the pale suddenly aren't, and I think it frees you to think of probably better things than you always could have done. You're very rigid. A lot of people will get taught something in school that they never think about ever again. And actually meeting foreign people and realizing that they have different moral values probably frees you up to think about that kind of stuff.
I was thinking practical advice. You went the more world view. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Well, no, I did it first with like passport and stuff, but
Yeah.
then overall, I think like no, realizing that the people abroad are just not the same as you, and you don't understand them, and
Yeah.
they won't understand if you say you can't do this. They won't understand why. Realizing that your views are not the same around the world is probably the most beneficial view you can have.
Carlos, thank you for the 2. I'll always listen and care about you, stepdad.
Wow.
Look, she's not on MILF Manor yet.
Another advice: download the Google Maps prior to, because satellite's free. And get credit cards with no foreign transaction fees, or credit cards that give you certain like lounge passes or whatnot with travel
benefits,
insurance. A lot of credit cards do offer that. You just have to find them.
And something that I learned, I sometimes if you check in, like you're flying, you check in on the app. Sometimes the app like messes up right before you're getting ready to book your flight and you have a mini heart attack. That happened to me the last time I was traveling. I ended up getting in. Always, if you check in, right, take a screenshot on your phone of like your tickets for them to scan. That's kind of, I don't know, maybe people do that already, but I almost had missed my flight because of that, because the app started messing up and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I had to log in like through the browser and I got in. But yeah.
When I went to Las Vegas, because I'd never been to like America before, so I'd like the reason why I missed the first time is because I didn't know you needed like a visa or like a visa pass or whatever it was to get through. So when I finally went, I actually got to the ticket station. I went, do you have a flight back? No. And they just gave me my passport back. I'm like, wait, do I need one?
Need a flight.
Like, oh,
you need
yes,
a flight
you do.
back.
To get into America, you need a flight back. It's like, yeah, but I could just change whenever that was, and it's like nobody would even care. It's like, no, we need to know you're leaving. There's a lot of weird things like that you learn.
Yeah. They think that if you don't go in without a ticket back that you won't go home, which I mean, you could just like not go.
Well, yeah, and my entire plan was, well, my plan was like, yeah, okay, so I plan to leave on this date, but maybe I won't. You know, maybe I'd travel to a different area of the country. And I prefer that kind of flexible traveling style. But like, no, you were leaving on this date. And so you have to plan everything in advance, which I don't do, and I'm never going to do.
Spontaneous.
Yeah, so for me, it's just like, okay, I'm never going to be in your country for very long at a time. Because I'm never going to plan, like you do, I'm never going to plan 2 months of travel at a time. That's just insane to me.
That's me.
I don't have the brain for that. I couldn't physically manage it.
Darth Racer, thank you for another 5. What I meant to sprue is that based on our differences, some people will be plumbers and some will be rocket scientists.
Yes.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean all people should be treated the same. People who contribute more should be rewarded better.
What are you guys talking about? Sorry, these two are distracting me.
Are you talking about Harry Potter?
Oh my god.
No, if X-Wing is a blacksmith, if X-Wing spends his days with a big massive hammer just hitting metal in the face, forging things, he would beat the living crap out of Dan Vask. Like that is honestly, no. Blacksmiths are some of the hardest buggers you will ever meet. They are. You will never beat like harder buggers than like literally blacksmith. They have a big hammer and they just hit metal all the time. What does Dan Vask do? He sings. And he may sing very well. He may lift metal a lot. But X-Wing is literally lifting metal for a living. I was on your side.
That was
of course it was unnecessary.
Things. That's all
you may call it unnecessary, but was it wrong? The racist
9999.
Was it wrong?
Damn.
This is basic Wheel of Time. Is a singer stronger than a blacksmith?
Well,
well,
oh god.
Mark
What
to
one guy
reality.
hits metal for a living, the other guy sings metal for a living. Which one is stronger?
Thank you for the 10, Mark. I agree with this Rue about the working in coffee shops. Americans are the second most industrious people on earth after the Japanese. Europeans are lazy and Middle Easterners are hyper lazy.
That's not what I meant
I
about
don't know.
coffee shops,
I
by the way.
wouldn't say that.
It's not what I meant about.
get
It's not what I meant about coffee shops at all. I meant that was just a social. It was more a social atmosphere. That Americans are more. They work out of the office a lot more, where I think most of the world works better in an office. I think Americans would, but work better in an office. I actually think the entire coffee shop thing is just a lot of people skiving. Oh, I'm working. No, you're not. Otherwise, you'd be at work.
He was scared to do yelling.
Dan Vass just wants me to grow my hair longer than his. That's all it is.
Oh, then you guys
Yes.
can both be twinning with your man
Hair
buns.
battle.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no.
I will be gayer than Dan Vask.
We heard it here, guys. We heard it here.
You said it.
The X-Ray's just like, yes, give me hope. I've always wanted a cigarette hag.
Gary Banjos and Witch Worthington. I was gonna say Gary, but I'm like, I feel like that name needs to be said. Thank you for being a member for 1 month. Just Drew talk sense from his UK culture background, as we here in the UK are more chill than some nations.
Yeah, that is one of the things. I don't think people generally appreciate how significant the culture difference is between America and the UK.
And see,
Nobody does
Made
it
up.
until they actually start like looking at it.
Yes, queen.
Yeah.
But no, this is significantly like one of the biggest things that has changed over time. Like I could say anything about Dan Vask, and he's not going to get offended and suddenly like piss off and go, "Oh my, I can't believe he said that about me. This is horrific." Blocked. And that's the way
Blocked.
everybody used to be. And now
Yeah.
suddenly it'd be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that you said once something that somebody didn't like."
yeah.
I'm
People
offended.
are they're so easily offended, but it's like you could I that's why I'm friends with the people I'm friends with, because if I can't mess with you and diss you, then we can't be friends, because it's all in fun. But some people really we see it a lot
Too
online.
sensitive.
Very sensitive, yeah.
I
Dark
just hate
Racer?
when you get sensitive about another culture that's not yours, and you're just like, are you serious?
I was like, do you even know what the no, I get what you're saying. Darth Racer, thank you for 5. I enjoyed Disparu's ruminations. I agree with about half of them. Well, at least there's
You
half,
agree?
right?
You agree with all of them? You're just like maybe 6 months to a year away.
Can't believe you've done this. Can you say that, Disparu?
I can't believe you've done this.
You said it way more like.
Look,
What's it? It's
Look,
a
no,
meme.
let's face. If anyone was complimented in what I said about him and Dan Vask, it was X-Wing. And X-Wing's like, I can't believe you've complimented me.
How dare you?
How dare you say
dare
that
you.
blacksmiths might actually be stronger than singers?
Zach, thank you for the Canadian 5. A plumber is a mandatory job that's well paid. A rocket scientist is 1 in a billion. There's no rocket scientists here. Respect to tradesmen.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
But you do need more tradesmen than you need rocket scientists.
Did you see
Huh?
Rowan Atkinson's defense on the right to insult? No.
No.
Yes, Rowan Atkinson's defense is from years ago. And I mean like 10 or 15 or 20 years ago. That's how old that statement is. But it was as true then as it is now. So yeah, his speech was great, but it always has been.
Interesting.
Old Renaissance.
I
boomer
can probably pull it
5.
up if you want.
Hold on, Disparu. Please hold.
Well, no, I'm saying
while he's pulling up, read this.
if you want Rowan Atkinson's speech, I can probably find it.
Okay. Yeah. Worst invention ever. Phone cases that hold all your credit cards, ID, and cash. First rule of traveling. Nothing kept in the same place. Might steal one, not all.
Yes. What I usually do, RFID secret pocket, inside, and then I have a side purse, and then I have my boobs.
Yeah, which sorry guys.
Yeah,
That's
I
extra
too
pocket that you
struggle
guys-
to take my boobs on a plane.
No, I mean like boo pocket. Like it's a pocket.
Well, yeah,
know.
you know, you have
Oh, you got it.
cleavage.
Yeah, you fit a lot in there.
Also,
This
I
room
also struggle to.
2024.
I also struggle to fit my cleavage on a plane. I think
That
this
needs
is
to be a
start.
sketch. That needs to be
My
a
starting
sketch.
point when it comes
Can
to
you
the
hear that?
consideration of
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
issue relating to free speech is my passionate belief that the second most precious thing in life is the right to express yourself freely. The most precious thing in life, I think, is food in your mouth. And the third most precious is a roof over your head. But a fixture for me in the number 2 slot is free expression, just below the need to sustain life itself.
Now, the interesting thing about that is you need enough to eat to live, but then it is freedom to express yourself, and then it would be freedom to live comfortably, is where he placed those two values.
And that makes
Agree
sense
with that.
because you know, the thing that we've seen through just even the animal kingdom and ourselves, the thing you need is food, shelter, and then of course sex comes after that, but I guess before sex is this freedom of expression. So
Well, yeah, but the interesting part about what you've just said is that the reason, like, people are like, oh yeah, well, they need sex. Well, why though? That is to produce kids.
procreate. But
Yes.
that's just,
That is the
all
purpose of it.
animals do that. Without food and shelter, you cannot have sex because then you don't have the resources to have them said children.
Yes, but if you replace that with having kids, what Rowan Atkinson would be essentially saying under that paradigm is you need the ability to speak in order to have kids in the first place. And what is dropping in the West? People having kids. If you can't express yourself freely, maybe you wouldn't even bother to reproduce yourself in that community in the first place. Because that's how I feel. It's like, why would I in this group?
Wait, was that
I
the
was
whole?
just
Was that the
no,
whole
I was
speech
just
or no?
no. That is 30 seconds out of a 9-minute speech.
Oh,
but-
sorry. I thought it was like a quick thing. My bad.
No. This is Rowan Atkinson. He went to Oxford. He's very smart. Put it that way.
That is because I have enjoyed free expression in this country all my professional life and fully expect to continue to do so. Personally, I suspect
That was wrong.
highly unlikely to be arrested for whatever laws exist to contain free expression because of the undoubtedly privileged position that is afforded to those of a high public profile.
That was an admission of two-tier policing in the UK about 20 years ago, or whenever this was, like 10 years ago. He knew he would never be done it because it would be a too big a thing in the UK to do it. It would hurt them too much.
So my concerns are less for myself and more for those more vulnerable because of their lower profile. Like the man arrested in Oxford for calling a police horse gay.
Or like the guy that went to 20 months in prison because he posted stickers on a wall.
Or
Wow.
the teenager arrested for calling the Church of Scientology a cult. Or the cafe owner arrested for displaying passages from the Bible on a TV screen. When I heard of some of these more ludicrous
Or like the woman on Twitter who posted rap lyrics on her Twitter and got arrested and sentenced to prison because she said the N-word from rap lyrics.
offences and charges, I remembered that I had been here before in a fictional context. I once did a show called Not the 9 O'Clock News some years ago, and we did a sketch where Griff Rhys-Jones played Constable Savage, a manifestly racist police officer to whom I, as his station commander, is giving a dressing down for arresting a black man on a whole string of ridiculous, trumped up and ludicrous charges.
He also did a comedy show called The Thin Blue Line, all about how the police get things wrong. And it was allowed then, it probably wouldn't be allowed now.
The charges for which Constable Savage arrested Mr. Winston Kadogo of 55 Mercer Road were these: walking on the cracks in the pavement, walking in a loud shirt in a built-up area during the hours of darkness, and one of my favourites, walking around all over the place. He was also arrested for urinating in a public convenience and looking at me in a funny way. Who would have thought that we would end up with a law that would allow life to imitate art so exactly. I read somewhere a defender of the status quo claiming that the fact that the gay horse case was dropped after the arrested man refused to pay the fine, and that the Scientology case was also dropped at some point during the court process, was proof that the law was working well.
There's this is a 10-minute clip. There's a lot to this. That was particular things. As you made the whole issue, problem without law.
Too many things insulting. Be polarized, as you may know, this whole issue very well by saying, while arresting a protester for using threatening or abusive speech may, depending on the circumstances, be a proportionate response, we do not think that language or behavior that is merely insulting should ever be criminalized in this way.
Which is something that we've already moved past over the last 10 years, because this is what happens.
The clear problem with the outlawing of insult is that too many things can be interpreted as such. Criticism is easily construed as insult by certain parties.
Anything that I've said about the Acolyte would inevitably result as insulting, despite the fact that they are accurate responses to what I read.
Ridicule, easily construed as insult. Sarcasm, unfavorable comparison, merely stating an alternative point of view to the orthodoxy can be interpreted as insult. And because so many things can be interpreted as insult, it is hardly surprising that so many things have been, as the examples I talked about earlier show. Although the law under discussion has been on the statute book for over 25 years, it is indicative of a culture that has taken hold of the programs of successive governments, that with the reasonable and well-intentioned ambition to contain obnoxious elements in society, has created a society of an extraordinarily authoritarian and controlling nature.
Because if you want to outlaw offense, the only way you can do it is to stop people speaking at all. Because even if you have the correct way of being in society, some people will be offended by that. And if offense is considered an abject harm, you have to stop them speaking. And if you stop them speaking, then the worst parts of society take over.
And I mean, the entire country would be arrested. At some point, someone has said something offensive to someone.
Well, yes. Well, being a good moral citizen of society is offensive to evil. And I used to not even use that word. I wouldn't even think in those terms. But the longer I've gone on, I'm just like, no, if your point of view is opposite mine, you are evil. Because I don't know what else to call that. So yeah, that is half of his speech, and you can find it if you want. I don't know whether you want to go through the rest of it, but Rowan Atkinson is an exceptionally intelligent person, and he said this so long ago. We are literally talking 10 or 15 years ago. And everything he said now is just as accurate then as it was now, and it's got worse.
And it's really sad because, like, the one thing that really bothered me really back then was when that girl with Down syndrome got arrested or whatever by was it the lesbian cop?
Wow, that's what she called her. Yes.
Yeah.
She said her exact words were, "You look like my lesbian nana," which isn't even an insult. That is just saying you look like somebody else.
Yeah.
That's like saying like somebody looks like Rowan Atkinson. Well, so what, you know?
Yeah.
But because the woman got offended, well, now she could use all of her pals to get the person. She can persecute the innocent party because she's in the one of power. That's what all of this is. It's people who don't deserve to be in power, who should have been kept in their own house and not allowed to affect anything outside of it. Well, now they've got power over other people, and they don't deserve it. This is why people aren't equal. Some people shouldn't be in power. Some people should actively be kept in their little world. They should never be allowed to have power over other people because they don't deserve it. And there are some people in society that people will naturally yield power to. And that's not what's happened. It is the weakest, the most vulnerable, the most pathetic of society, which is taken over by force.
Yeah, I mean, everybody gets offended by something, right? It's just some people can handle it way better. Like all of us on this panel, everybody in the chat, there's something that offends you, but how you take that, how you act afterwards says a lot about you. And on the internet these days, you get a lot of people that just they call for, oh, you misgendered me, you should get fired. That's why it's such a I agree with free speech, even if I don't agree with what you have to say, right? It's just because it's a fine line.
That's the American in you.
Yeah, well, that's how I feel.
I've had death threats. I block them. I don't complain about them because
Just
me
brush
complaining
it
about them
off,
wouldn't do
yeah.
anything. But if you're weak and a part of a protected class, well, now you can. Now you can do anything. Now you have the power of God, so why wouldn't you use it? And that's what Rowan Atkinson says. Because this entire speech, it's not done from any position of like power. It's done from the position of a comedian. He wants to be able to speak because comedians need to be able to speak to be comedians. And so it's done from an ultimately neutral perspective, which is why it carries so much weight.
See, it's a joke, but there's people that would actually be bothered by that. That's what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think people should act on, like, if you say something hateful, like, I just agree that people should have the right to say whatever they want. They might be retarded and say stupid stuff, whatever. But just like how you said, oh, you get death threats, you just ignore it. Sometimes you got to take some of that stuff more seriously. That's a more drastic thing. But just like, oh, you called me a he when I'm a she, and you should be fired. Your life should be ruined. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Even if someone meant it in a hateful way, just brush it off. Be stronger. Like that's my advice. But some people are more thick-skinned than others.
Well, it's more the fact that I've found out through my lifetime that if you don't push for what you believe in, other people will, and they win because they're pushing and you're not. You're not defending what you believe in. They are, and so they win by default because they're fighting against nothing. And so I would always be in a place where my beliefs are enforced and theirs aren't. I would always crush the opposition because if I'm correct and they're not, I would rather good wins over evil.
And that's interesting because I was going to say the normie, like the majority normie who kind of doesn't follow all these things, tend to just go with the flow. And so the loudest voices are the ones that are heard.
Yeah.
And so they don't fight for anything really specifically, maybe themselves, their family, et cetera, et cetera. And then what's left is the extreme opposites battling each other. And so we'll see what ends up happening, I guess. And
well, that's the interesting thing about this specific ideology is that most people just go on with whatever think is the dominant ideology. This one is so horrific, it's so antithetical to literally the thousands of years of evolution before that it hasn't caught on. Even though it's been pushed from like top down, it's not become the majority because it is literally the opposite of all of humanity's base instincts.
Well, and just look at the way that if we're looking at just pop culture and when they're pushing these ideologies, the only way they can speak is just to not watch it because they're like, oh, this is not fun and exciting anymore. People don't overanalyze how people do on the internet on why they don't like it. They're just like, oh, it's just not fun anymore. I'd rather do other things. And so then that
was me for a long time.
Lose the perspective or they don't even get into that perspective. They're just like, oh, no. Okay.
They just move on to anime or something else. There's always something else to take your time. Yeah.
So
always the Korean dramas that Disprue loves so much.
Oh, they're very good.
Well, it's why. Look, I used to hate foreign stuff. I hate dub things. Well, I used to, and now I'm used to them because it was the only stuff that would make anything that was decent. So.
Yeah.
I love how we didn't even. I'm probably going to have to take the D23 out of the title because we didn't cover it.
I literally said, "Say whenever you want me to cut this off." I'm like,
I mean, we're having a good conversation.
Yeah, no,
it's
this is
only
fine.
5 of the 10.
No, I'm just saying since it's in the title, I'm going to have to just take it out. Sorry, I don't think anybody really cared that much about it. It was just topical. It's entertainment. But we
literally just talked
the Marvel
Agatha.
stuff.
That's it.
Agatha and government and
it is a case, Wicked, that like you this is your channel. You're the one who like leads and herds the cats. And so if you want to talk about a topic, literally just be like, so we're gonna do and then I'll shut up.
Yeah, no, well, I mean, we were already like hitting the time before and I'm like, we're not gonna get to D23, but it was a good.
Well,
like,
that's why I said like say when you want me to cut this off because we're like,
more. Yeah, I like the random conversations more. Excuse me, Dan, I'm offended by that because I'm not a fella. Okay. Neither is
No, that is
X-ray
a
girl.
compliment.
Okay, I'm not offended anymore.
The highest,
Okay, Dan. All right.
the highest compliment a woman can
Stan.
achieve. The highest
Hold
compliment a
on.
woman can achieve is that you think like a man. That is peak.
Depends, because sometimes you might be calling a woman a slut, like you got the morals of, you know what I mean? That's an American thing, maybe. But
That's no.
I get what
That
you're
is a good
saying.
point. No, that was a fair point. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn.
There you go.
Damn,
Thanks, Dan.
Daniel.
Damn, Dan. Thank you.
Okay, you
Welcome
want
to
to
the
think like a
potato
man,
squad,
but preserve
everyone.
yourself like a woman. Yeah.
There you go. Well, like a woman's supposed to, anyway. Where it's 2024, things are crazy.
Well. Under most people's perspective, I would just declassify certain people.
Yeah. Also, I do prefer when we go off and have these conversations. So I'm not mad that we didn't cover
This
D23.
was
I'm
a
just
good
saying,
one.
yeah, I'm just
Honestly, I
saying
had fun.
I'm just saying I'm gonna take it out of the title because people are gonna watch back and be like, "What? Did nothing." I mean, the Agatha stuff, sure, but
Agatha and I don't know what to call all the stuff that we talked about. to be
forgot. I already forgot.
honest.
I never know. I just wake up the next morning going, I probably shouldn't have said any of that.
Let's real quick though. Let's just talk.
Like
since
every
I have
Sunday, I wake up with like dread, going, "What on earth did I say yesterday?"
Before we end and finish with the super chats, let's just cover briefly the BAFTA stuff because I do have that in the title. Now, the base BAFTA thing was just supposed to be funny. I just put it like
Oh my
I've seen a
god,
few
it's
people
so
like
funny.
it's just supposed to be a funny title. But I mean, technically, if we want to get technical, them saying like, listen, we aren't making new categories for you. You're either going to go in the actress or actor. You're a man or you're a woman. Pick your lane. That is, I would say that is
Bring
a
up
little
the
bit
title.
based. What title? Oh, the title.
The
stream?
article.
The
No,
article.
the
Yeah, I got
article
it.
that says it.
I got
Yeah.
it. Hold on.
Genuinely, if you have a title, it's better, and then it
Yeah,
also
yeah.
applies that it's not you saying it, it's them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll briefly cover this. I just think it's funny, and when actually did too, you did put it like that title. She was cracking up, but it was really funny. But they should do that. That's how you push back. Like, you know how annoying that would be to have to make a category for every whatever thing there is.
Oh my god. Well, like they don't even know all the categories. So the title is BAFTA tells non-binary stars to pick a side as they refuse to introduce woke gender-neutral categories. Which I agree with, because it's like,
I agree
okay,
with
so
that,
are we
yeah.
gonna do trans, then non-binary,
unicorn.
demon,
Demon.
chickens,
X-ray girls going for the
furries.
demonetization speedrun right now.
I don't know. It just seems wild, this is a conversation that we've been having for years. And even just now with like freaking the Olympics. So it's like, how do we categorize all this? I think just, wow, crap there. Some of these people who like Emma Darcy, Bella Ramsey, both have played
Emma Darcy.
female.
Do you remember what Emma
characters.
Darcy said? Where she was like, yeah, when I was in the TV series, whatever
House
the
of the
dragon thing
Dragon.
is. Yeah, when I was in that, I was playing a woman, and you know what? It was remarkably easy. I found myself slipping into the role of playing a woman remarkably easy. I can't imagine
wonder
why.
why.
Yeah, that's astonishing, love. It really
No,
is.
I hate it. She's a great actress, but she's one of the Looney Tunes, unfortunately.
Well, it is a case of if you make this category, firstly, you end up with all the people that couldn't succeed in the other ones going into it.
Like in
Because-
the Olympics.
Well, if you make any category where you can just switch at will, well, you're going to switch to the ones you stand most success in. And so you would switch the one which has the least competitors. And
Yeah.
so everybody would start to. And yeah, it balanced out in time, but as you said earlier, like, this isn't just like 1, 2, and a third category. Once you open the gateway, well, now you've opened the gateway to literally an infinite amount of separations that never existed before. And so people are going to keep switching, and they're going to keep switching until they get the award. It's inevitable. And I think that's one thing we've been lacking is people don't just look like what's happening now. They're like, well, what's going to happen in a few years?
Well, most people are really short-sighted, and we see this constantly. And
Exactly.
I want to, enjoy things and not have to talk about like, oh my god, non-binary stars have to pick blah, blah, blah. But we have to.
Yeah.
Because
and once you bend the knee, it won't stop. Just like what Lark just posted, pretty much the same thing. Once they you want this category, it'll just be never ending, category after category, and that's no. Keep it simple.
It's the changing goalposts. It's always changing.
Because if you can take a definition, which is the founding of society, and then split it into so many things that it just becomes null and void, well, now that word and that category removes all power, and you just replace it with something else. Something that you created. This has been a tactic that's been repeated time and time again. Everything that everyone knows as the foundation of humanity has just been destroyed and replaced by this kind of crap.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Good
at least we
job,
got to
BAFTA.
this. Yeah, good job.
I also think they just didn't want to have to create new categories and have more medals made.
Well, they get a thumbs up.
Aww.
Sorry, I'm sorry clicking it.
I think they knew the trouble that they'd cause, and they were like, "No, we don't want the aggro."
This is just easier.
Well, at least we got 2 of the topics. Look at us.
We're so brave.
We're
2 out of 3.
Yeah,
we're
let's
amazing.
go. Professionals. I mean, that was just a quick topic anyways, but let's get to the super chats, guys. Thank you so much we went a little bit over today, and we do that sometimes, but thanks for sticking around. Gambler, thank you for being a member for 6 months. How about being a millwright with an aeronautical engineering degree? What even is that? Google it because you got the keyboard.
I don't know what a millwright is.
Tradesperson who works with machinery in factories, power plants, and construction sites. Reassemble machinery. Millwrights design and install mechanical systems. I mean, I would imagine that if you were in a war against an alien species for the survival of your existence, millwrights would actually be really, really important. That would definitely be service. As long as you're making, like, military ships and stuff. I don't see why it wouldn't. That is literally the thing. It's like, do you serve the state or not? Like, does a YouTuber serve the state? No. Like, does Louis Vuitton serve the state? No. This stuff isn't as complicated as it may first appear.
Puppies. Or one puppy. Are they both there? Oh, they both.
Your
mic was blocking Rocky, so I couldn't tell.
We've been streaming for a long time. She got hungry.
Darth Racer, thank you for another 5. That's okay, we'll agree to disagree on some things. It'd be a dull world if we all agreed on everything. That's a great way to look at it. Agree to disagree. Debating is fine. Friendly debates. And look at that. Nobody got offended. Whoa. Is this really the internet?
Well, this is the whole thing. Nobody's saying that everyone needs to agree with everybody. It's fine.
Yeah.
I just think you'll agree with me the more time goes on.
Yeah. Jason Webster for Australian 5. Satire and other forms of sardonic humor is beneficial. To not take ourselves too seriously, it guards against arrogance and complacency. Yeah, I can say it. It's just sometimes okay. Thank you.
I had to read the super chat after you paused to try and work out where you were.
Like, wait, where were you? I had to read the whole thing. Oh my gosh. Thanks, Zach. Oops. Well, thank you. I didn't mean to click on that.
Definitely highlighting that one. Hey, look,
No, I didn't.
if it was my channel, I'd be highlighting those comments about me as well. It'd be fine.
Well, you got a lot of love from
that'd be the
your
only thing you saw.
soon-to-be wife. Jason
Someone's random mum.
Carlos.
I am not going on a series of MILF Manor, just so we're all aware.
Okay.
Nobody's going to put Sarah Shahi on an episode of those.
Yeah. Jason, thank you for 5. Governmental and societal stagnation. It assists the encouragement of pragmatic approaches to certain issues and challenges.
I don't think pragmatism is innately evil or even a bad thing. I think you have to realize that you are in the situation that you are. You're not in a perfect world. And therefore, you need to realize that ideas that may have been you never would have considered may actually be the correct way to be. I think a lot of people get taught things in school that they never think about again, and they get faced with realities that contradict that, and they don't know how to handle it. And you can either double down on the ideas of the past, or simply realize that maybe they were flawed from the beginning, and they were made for a society that was too perfect to exist. England and English culture was amazing, but it only works with English people. And so now you might have to embrace different ideas to actually continue.
A pool for let's get this on MILF Manor.
I don't think he'd be into the MILFs.
No. I'd be like DILF.
He's like, no.
DILF Manor. I want to be on DILF Manor.
You're gonna go on.
I don't have any kids, but I'll be like, yeah, we could make some.
Oh, he wants to be the DILF. I was like, wait a minute, is he trying to go further?
No,
with this?
we could be on DILF Manor.
And they're really affecting him.
No, they all have kids, and I'll be like, look, we could make some, all right? Look, that'd be the unique proposition.
Great combo. It is what it is. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Justin Martins for 5. Disbrew, ever watched The Crucible with Andrew Wilson? You'd like his content. Very based. Well, he's looking it up now, Justin. Thank you for the recommendation.
I mean, it's a movie. I mean, what do you mean? Is it a YouTube video or a channel? I don't know.
And what? Nothing. Copied Kitty for 5. Disbrew, I was just curious if your sibling/family mostly agrees with your views.
I don't generally talk about this stuff with I know my dad doesn't. I highly doubt my mum does. I am very much a person who, like I said, one of the things that I like about Basecamp is they follow the data to the truth, or what they think is the truth, and it doesn't really matter, like, what they think is socially acceptable or not. It's kind of irrelevant, right? If something is true, it's true. If something's reality, it's reality. It doesn't matter whether it's socially acceptable. You can fight. You can take whatever social opinion you want. What matters is it accurate? Is it true? Is it real life? And I think that matters more than anyone's personal opinion.
Sorry, I'm laughing at Carlos, not you, Disbrew.
There you go.
Well, no, is your mother Sarah Shahi? This is an important distinction.
It's a podcast, Disbrew. The Crucible is a podcast they're talking about. So look it up on YouTube.
I don't know.
Isn't that the person
there's
that
a
had
lot of podcasts.
gotten in a fight with, like, was it Brittany Venti or Chrissy or something like that?
No idea.
Probably.
Probably. Josh Kelsey, thank you for the 10. It says nothing. Well, thank you. Jimmy Ray for 5.
I do know this guy.
This is funny. BAFTA should make a non-binary category and have no winners. Agreed.
The Crucible is he's way more Christian than I am.
Oh God, Pearl! I learned about her on last time I was on Simcast. I only know of Pearl because of Chrissy. I've never watched her. I'm like, oh thank you. Anyways, the Burke.
I do find it interesting.
You were saying something. My bad.
I do find it interesting. People will write off a person because it's the person, and they never listen to what the person said. Like, to me, it doesn't matter what the person is; it matters what they say is.
The Burke, thank you for the Australian 5. If your job can be represented by a cute little pig in in a children's book, you're doing good for society. Good children's books. I agree with that.
Bacon.
I love bacon.
That's what he got. Oh my gosh.
I do.
Look, if you mention a cute little pig, I'm going to assume bacon.
I want bacon now.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone
I want
wants
a turkey
bacon.
club.
That's why they're in children's books.
Old Renaissance Numer for 5. I wonder if I could get arrested for some of the t-shirts I have for sale. Site recommended by Jay. Would that make him an accomplice? Maybe. Thank you for the 5.
That's
Probably.
basically how can I get Jay arrested?
Oh, no.
Wow.
Dave Chandler, thank you for the 2. Spent this stream painting with my niece, Messy.
Aw,
Hope you
that's
had fun.
cute.
That's cute. Oh,
That's
Sorry,
cute.
she keeps growling.
that's cute. I know. I'm the only cute.
We just see a later get eaten. That's why she eats them. She has to eat them first, otherwise they'll rebel.
Don't rebel. Yeah.
There wasn't much there, so.
Yeah, it was just the ear.
Oh.
Aw. Well,
He's accepted
guys,
his fate.
Oh, one thing popped up. I hate when it does that. My noise cancellation thing pops up sometimes, like when it's like after 2 hours, like to like let me know. I'm like, okay. Anyways, what do you have coming up? You got your busy day tomorrow, right? X-ray Sundays.
Yup, as usual, 10 a.m. art, 1 p.m. Sunday Fun Day. We're playing Chained Together. And then 6:30 p.m. Forbidden Frontier on Dark Live. And this is all Eastern time. So yeah, check it out. X-Ray Girl everywhere.
Her links are in the description. What about you, Disparu? What videos do you have coming out?
I'm going to be doing a Fallout video of Borderlands and the kind of the reaction to it. I also have, again, Chained Together stream with Steph, my nerdy home, tomorrow. I have no idea what time it is. I literally just went on her channel to check.
Good luck.
She's not even, like, put it up. Well, yeah, I did say we'll probably spend most of the time falling. And
Yeah.
I don't think she's used to, like, exactly what you have to do in that game.
It's fun.
Never played it.
I wouldn't play with Disbrew because I'd be afraid to be yelled by Disbrew.
Well, the thing was, originally, Steph asked me, like, do you want to play with, like, me, Jay Hale, Stormy's trying to get 4 people together? I'm like, I can't play that game with 4 people.
Because he will yell at them.
Well, I would.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I could play that game with 4 people if I chose them. If I chose 4 gamers, it'd be fine, because we'd all understand and take it seriously. But if somebody else is choosing them, no. So the kind of compromise is like, I can probably put up with 1 person. Is where I'm like, no, that'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
So that will leave tomorrow.
You know the topic?
It is check out Randall Carlson's theory about the moon. And then I saw Mr. Drow says you're getting yelled at by Az, but Disbrew is worse. Yes. Az,
I
he's
agree.
funny.
Yeah.
I don't think I could handle Disbrew yelling at me.
but the thing is, if like I played that game with like Az and Quarter Black, it'd be fine. It's when you play it with non-gamers that's when
I know I'm not good.
If I'm under the impression that everyone's like trying their hardest, it's fine. Like whatever.
I am trying my hardest though.
Yeah, but you're not a gamer. That's different. Like gamers are competitive. Gamers want to get to the top.
There.
Like they will do anything to get to the top. It's when you're not competitive and like, oh, we just fell. It's fine. It's like, no, it isn't. No, you need to have tried. You should have tried harder. Like that's the problem. So it's not the falling that gets me. It's I need to play with gamers. And in any game that I play, I need to play with gamers.
Okay. Thank you, Zach, for having my back, bro. And yeah, it's the lasers.
Tomorrow, I'm going to be playing, I think it's the last day or Monday's the last day for the public test beta for Dead by Daylight, the Castlevania chapter. It's actually really cool what I've played so far. So there should be some gameplay of that. Unless I think it's still going on. I'm pretty sure it's till Monday. So that's my plan for tomorrow. It'll be on my YouTube and my Kick. And then Monday, I will be on the History of Pirates channel doing we're actually covering the first season of Black Sails. We're going to be chatting about that. So
very cool.
I think it should be 7 p.m. Eastern on a Monday, but just go over and sub to History of Pirates if you like pirate stuff. We have fun over there. That's it.
You should watch Skull and Crossbones, or I think it's called Crossbones, with
Crossbones?
John Malkovich. It's John Malkovich and the guy from Coupling, who's the best thing about Coupling. It's more of a comedy pirate show compared to Black Sails.
Okay.
But I preferred it to the first series of Black Sails. Black Sails improves as it goes along, whereas a more funny thing is just Crossbones. Jeff from Coupling is a god. Like he can be in anything. I like him.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I'll check that out. I have it up now. I think you told me about that before, but I opened a tab. But guys, we're gonna head out. Thanks for hanging out. I think this might have been the longest one we've done.
This has been the longest show.
It has. So thanks for hanging out, and we will see you guys next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.
So.